Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Earthing Season. I'm at RT Row, Randy Row. That's not how I usually start, but let's go anyway. And I have here with me as always.
As always, Danai Hall, H Danai.
There we go. This week we're talking about whatever we want.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's not that it's not privilege. It's not. We make money, but if you grow up poor, you don't spend money.
Mm-hmm.
You get used to not spending money.
I mean, privilege is real. It's just not. It's just not how people try to cast it. Like, you have privileges because you have an advantage. So having more money than a lot of the population is an advantage. It's just that it isn't necessarily how people try to put it is, oh, you're speaking a certain way because you don't understand. You're doing so. Yeah, that's like that.
Yeah.
But everybody has their privileges. Both is tall.
True. With scoliosis.
Yeah.
So it's kind of negative privilege,
no,
right?
Not negate, but it's a negative they had to work around. So you can't discredit this man's work.
Exactly. So people might say he had the privilege because he's weird, but then it was also a disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Weird.
Everybody has disadvantages.
Yeah, and they work around it. You're right. But it's the habit I'm thinking about. It's something specific about money. And it's weird to explain because if you're born with if you're born and there's always money around you, you don't.
The aggression, I know.
You don't understand that other people don't think about certain things
definitely
as second nature.
Yeah.
And then if you're born without a lot of money around you, you don't know that there are people who think of certain things as second nature.
Definitely.
It's weird.
It's weird. So, which is why when you hear you hear privileged air quotes, people speak about money a certain way because cool, but I don't have it. So it sounds a way to me because boy, this money I thought about this one is talking about my goals as if
it's nothing.
It's casual thing that I feel like I'm not aspiring enough. In reality, man, just talking is reality. So that's a privilege, to be honest. But hey, not a thing to knock. Funny, we're starting on privilege on this one. This joke has been running for a while. We've been running this joke for quite a while now.
I'm tired of it too. I'm sure everybody else tired of it too. But it's not. There's something I want to get because there's like the deeper meaning behind. It's part of why I do so much and talk about money when I talk about it because I want people to get. I know people who didn't know that there are people who change their sheets every week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You have some weird stories.
No, that's just normal.
Poor people don't. It's weird to me because it's outside of my norm, but the fact that somebody can do it, it is their norm. So that's also it is.
There's some people for whom they just always had a helper.
Yeah. Interesting still, but
and on the flip side, there are other people who don't know that like they don't know that somebody else might think when they see your shoes or they see like your clothes are pressed properly, they might not assume first that maybe like go because you never pay the bill. Yeah. They say, they're like, so him helper don't press it. It's shameful, man.
Yeah, man, helping you to do better than that.
But here, you don't even know that them thinking that.
Yeah,
it's a completely different universe.
Wow.
Because if you're born and see something, it's not something weird to you.
Classic case: unhappy rich father that grew up poor because his son doesn't see. He's not even exposed to what he was exposed to, so he's taking everything around him for granted. When I work my ass off for this. Yeah,
and almost sometimes like the father is stuck to because the father can't teach a lesson.
Yeah, he can't teach a lesson, and in some ways he doesn't even want to because. I want to give the son a life I didn't have.
Yeah.
So you don't want to make him feel like, oh, you're less than because you have a better life. Yeah. I work for this better life.
Yeah, it's weird. And in Jamaica, you see, over the last couple of years, it's rough. It's like I born in the 80s, and the 80s was rough. It gave birth to the 90s. Which was, crime-wise, rough.
Yeah, rough.
And we got financially rough. And so, like, the generations that became adults during that time that raised their children, like, they would have known hard. And they would have tried. Nobody wants. Most people, I would hope, wouldn't want their kids to have a bad time. You want your kids to live better than you. So those generations, each of them, like you want to impart lessons, but you can't also because how do I teach you about it? Yeah, it's like me telling my
am I going to force a struggle on this child?
Yeah, how do I tell my little cousin them about Gilbert? It's not. I can't really teach you.
Yeah, and I have a problem with that with the let me go back to my struggle and use as a benchmark for the struggle somebody else in the future must have. Like, oh, you're less than because you never got through this. Like, bro, isn't that a good thing? Like, I'm not.
No, but
I get the lesson isn't there, but you can't put. It's not my fault you went through that, and it's not my fault I'm not going through that.
Yeah, that's true. But then you think of them from
I
the
know
other
extremes,
side.
yeah. So
But then also I have no other tool with which to teach you because that's all I have.
This was impactful on my life, so it's a lesson in my head. So I kind of want to teach it.
Yeah.
So all right. The most I can do is tell you, but you can't go feel it. I hope you're hoping and praying with the telling part that don't take it in certain ways.
Yeah. I think is that you have to make sure that you can impart the lessons. I say, like the intelligent man can learn the lesson without experiencing it. So you can learn other people's experiences and then pass it on.
Oh yeah, definitely. We do that all the time.
Well, the best advice I can give people is to read.
Read, yeah.
Yeah. Reading is it. That's all. That's like the biggest life advice.
Yeah, I mean, I read fiction mostly, so that's the funny part. That's why I always talk about
You're not reading business books.
No,
you're not reading self-help books.
I'll get bored.
You not get to know that intelligent investor.
No. So the thing, I have read business books, but some of them are like I get little nuggets of knowledge, and honestly, you didn't know something. You always feel good learning something new. So that's a plus, because there's always something there you probably never know. But other times, if you read one, you read another. So after you read the others. So some of them are just cookie cutter, same thing.
After a certain point, you find that there's not much that you
There's
can
not much you can glean.
It's funny you find, for self-help and like those business type books, not stories, but business type books teach you XYZ. I find out what they are is they take one simple concept and they stretch it. Yeah. And for fiction, they take a huge concept and try and compress it. And in the compression that you find in fiction, you can learn so much.
I have a huge rating for fiction authors because the way the ones I like, Randy, you know the type of fiction I like.
Like that Brandon Sanderson.
It's a very intelligent, widely read person. And it's like you can feel nuggets of the personality, lessons they have. They're trying to teach you through their book. So the character go through whatever, and this small the same saying, you say, oh, yo, that's deep. It's one thing you can, and apply so much of that to what I do daily, investing or the way I think about things. I've gotten more of that from fiction than the business and self-help books. Not to say I haven't learned, but sometimes you get bored. I don't know, I thought of that way because this businessman did this thing in this way, and that was kind of cool. But I don't get it so often. And to be honest, I really enjoy reading fiction. So that's my read. I read news, anything online. So
yeah, I mean, you read almost. I don't consider reading. Like people ask me to read, I don't consider the newspaper.
I don't consider that at all. Actually, it's just let me grab this information. That's really it.
It's not boring either. It's interesting. But it's not reading. It's not reading. Yeah.
The worst thing I get is a newspaper that telling me everything I know already. Like refreshing something that was in a prospectus that I'm like, cool. I only read it because I'm hoping to God they say something I did not know.
Well, these days you're hoping to God at least get what's in the prospectus, right?
Yeah, that too. Oh gosh, trust me.
But you're right about getting. I always say the same thing about how I invest and a lot of the things I know from investing and business and strategy. I get it from fiction because fiction allows you to build. Build a pretend world in which you can.
The only way you're deep in there.
But you think about it, the only way you can carry yourself through a fiction world, because it's not real, you're not seeing it. You have to use logic.
Yeah.
So you have to say, if I imagine this person and they are fat and they fall on this person and they're slim, what is likely to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But using the parameters of real life. And it's the same thing.
Same thing.
The top level concept in those worlds apply to the top level concepts in these worlds. I was when I was young in high school, I read the Sword of Truth.
Sword of Truth.
Yeah, oh, man. Lord. Yeah.
The Wizard rules, all those rules. Yeah. Most of them, all of them, I think. They really have some deep knowledge. If you look at it and apply it to real life. The first one I always apply, that Wizard's first rule. People are stupid because they believe what they want. If they want something to be true, they believe it easier. And yeah, that's really it. So you believe a lie because you want it to be true.
Yeah, but I mean, let me say it nice. They're like people that I remember it as, people believe a lie either because they want it to be true or they're afraid it's true.
Definitely.
Both of those things are really good.
Very.
And you see it. I have seen that concept through everything. You see it through literature. You see it in real life. You see it in the market.
Definitely.
I see, the biggest person I see it in myself. That is when I start to get really good at investing. Yeah.
And seeing things you dislike in yourself really changes. Like it really fixes your mindset. So same thing. We see something on a stock because we're afraid that this is negatively impacting. We start worrying. I message Randy and say, "Oh, this thing about this one stock," and I think that's a good part of having Randy to speak to about that because he has a completely different point of view sometimes, and so he'll break down my uncertainty about something. And uncertainty is often because, boy, I'm afraid this is true.
Yeah, fear.
So this can go wrong.
And
So
if I just don't have to have that same fear, I might have a completely different view. Or sometimes your fear might lead to something that I never see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or sometimes your fear might infect me or my fear infect you, and then two bad decisions. But you're right. It's fear. It's so funny how fear drives a whole heap. And if you can identify where it hits, it makes a world of difference. That entire set of rules. I guess I'll try and find
my favorite topic. Risk. So fear and risk are part and parcel. Nothing breaks it down like information, because risk is the absence of information. You don't know. You're uncertain. You don't know what one step in the future, what's going to happen. There are too much variables for you to say, "Oh, I am certain this is going to happen." The moment, which is why insider information is dangerous. There's no risk. Nobody's on a level playing field. If I know exactly what's going to happen in our stock, and I know I'm going to get a good return out of this stock, I know for a fact because I know something that's going on in the company and nobody else knows. Then I have no risk because I know. Say I get results early.
Yes.
Some leak.
Yeah. Then your betting is now
you're
risk.
betting. You're not betting.
It's like people say, what the man play. But cash what? Let's say one day you met the man.
Yeah.
and he actually told you, hey, tomorrow at 1 o'clock I'm going to play 32. And you're like, I'm not gonna believe that crap.
Yeah.
And so 1 o'clock come tomorrow and 32 play. You're like, holy crap. All right. Him link again and say, yo, you see him play 32. Tomorrow playing 14.
Guess what you're doing?
You're like, no, but of course you don't know him going to say it might be crap, right? 1 o'clock on the next day, boom, him play 14. And link you back. You still not playing the number? All right. I'm playing 6 tomorrow. Take $1 million. You put on 6. I want to ask you right there at that point, is that risky or not? However, I know it's risky because he can change it anytime.
He can do anything.
All right, so let me change the story because there is risk there.
Yeah.
Magical world, every day somebody else is the man, right? And they pick the number. And of course, at this point, because there's so many people and it's like a poor world, everything is post-apocalypse these days. It's post-apocalyptic world, and most people just play the number they want and then buy the number they want and you get it, right? Your gang sometimes wouldn't find out who in the area going to get the number and then force them to play the number and everybody bet on it and them get it. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right? But one day you are out in the forest one day for 2 weeks. It could take you 2 weeks to get back to where everybody is. You watch go off, boom. Today you are the man. So you have nobody around you to bother you. You're perfectly safe. You can pick the number today. And of course you can access credit. You can invest,
borrow some money.
you can put $50 million on the number and you also get to pick the number.
Then you're good.
So if you walk into a betting store in the middle of this pretend forest and you're about to buy the ticket, and it's usually a lottery ticket, so 1 to 36, how many numbers, blah blah blah. Do you have the same risk as everybody else?
No, you do not.
There's no risk there.
There's no risk because you are certain. Yes. And everybody else is uncertain.
Certainty removes risk.
Risk, definitely. And risk is always forward facing. So I hate any backward looking approach at risk.
Which is why the first example wouldn't work, because just because the man always told you the number doesn't mean that the day when you're playing you're going to do the number. So, but if you are the person, you can control it. Definitely. And even then, if you want to get pedantic about it, I mean, lightning could come from the sky and kill you right before you play it or whatever.
Yeah.
But you pick the number. Maybe whenever you pick the number, it's so much a lottery system that when you pick the number, it's automatically assumed that you're also going to buy the number. Yeah. So you just automatically get X amount of money. So yeah, in that situation, there is no risk.
There's no risk.
And that's a huge fictional example.
It explains what risk is properly.
Exactly. It's a fictional example that brings down to a common level that everybody can get the concept of what actual risk is. So the more that you remove the uncertainty,
then yeah. So that's why it's fruitful to study companies. You understand exactly how they make the money, what they do, how the nature of the expenses, So because at that point, you can pinpoint as best as possible what's going to happen in the future of this company. You can know what affects it. You can look around and say, boy, this time I'm going to mash up this. What's going to happen? If you can cut down your level of uncertainty, then you reach a point where your risk isn't the same as everybody else's, because everybody else is jumping around and wondering what's going to happen on your stock because I don't understand the company. You're more certain. You still have some risk because there are some things you just cannot know without being in the company. Whatever.
There's always, exactly. Yeah.
So if you I reach a point of comfortable risk where I know where these are the risks and am I comfortable taking them? Because as Randy always say, we're very risk averse. It's just that we define risk very differently from how people
from how the market
does it out there. So I speak about volatility. Volatility is a backward looking approach. I look at how the stock was moving in the past, and I'm going to assume it's going to continue that way. It not work so. Some things happen, like something changes this company or this new business I come in, business I can fail. But you look around and you figure out, say, boy, that's Randy's example with iCool and Lasco. You look around and say, boy, I be iCool back there about the place. People been drinking this thing. This new business is doing well for Lasco. Buy Lasco.
And that worked because it's forward looking. And why is it forward looking? The market forces it to be forward looking because it forces you to see the financials at least 45 days after the event.
After the event. So
I am not really seeing it and buying no. I'm buying no for really 45 days after it's reported.
Exactly.
And the quarter never even done yet. So it's 40, maybe let's say the quarter did just start. I really bought for something 4.5 months down the line.
Crazy.
But if you say 4.5 months, it sounds it's short term.
Short term. But
it's not short term if there is less risk.
Less risk, yeah.
I just had the good fortune to have been at the time in a job that carried me around
the country
every single month. So I would pass kids all over the country every single month, and the whole of them drinking the same drink. And it's the first I see it. Yeah. You get me? So in that case, that was the 2 weeks where I'm in the forest, and I was the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, it don't work every time. Yeah, I could have been wrong.
You get wrong sometimes.
What I don't talk about normally is that I didn't just go, oh, them drinking iCool, so I can go buy iCool. I went back and I check out the numbers, and that's when I check the numbers, I realize that I don't see them reporting much about this iCool thing. Yeah, them say just start. And I say, wait, it's fresh. Yeah. So
something good. This new business that's doing well is going to add to the norm that was there before.
Is that second part that actually removed the risk? That's what people don't get. They think that is us seeing the bottles on the road. It's not the bottles on the road that removed the risk, It was when I go back and check to see what do those bottles represent.
And that's the problem with when I talk about companies I like. Companies I like versus the stock. Look, somebody at work today was talking to me about some companies that I like with Cinco, and everybody's favorite. I looked at the PE.
Oh God. Yeah.
The PE was kind of high to me.
Bro, so, PE doesn't count. You can't use PE.
Yeah,
PE doesn't work for this market, all right?
Yeah. PE works everywhere. PE is widely used. PE is used
Jesus
in
Christ,
most of the
edit this part. Okay, I don't want to talk. Well, you know what? I think about.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Because it's something you get all over the place. I guess it's at work sometimes. It's by people who run on the PE. So if you look at the US market, you look at US analysts, you look at US people that are making money. They talk about PE. Hey, my fave Warren Buffett, he talks about PE.
PE drives the market.
Yeah.
Because forget PE. PE is price to earnings. Earnings drive the market. You know why? Because the same reason everybody starts a company. To make money. What's money called?
Exactly.
Earnings. You can make money without making earnings. Yes, but that's really troublesome. You have to go into all kind of cash flow game. It's harder. The richer you are, the lazier you get. You want to make money the easiest way. The easiest way is to make profit. And if you're making profit, it means you're really good. It means you're making so much money that you don't have to do the cash game. It's when people run out of money, them do them little cash flow stuff, Or them try to book a loss but keep the cash flow high so them can live off it.
That's when it's like creative. When you're losing money.
Yeah, when you're losing money, you get creative.
I can't make earnings.
But you know what rich people do? They're so lazy because they're lazy enough to do things the right way. If it's a profit, it's a profit.
Remember I asked a question, tangent. I asked a question about which one is best, which one is harder, being a good CEO or a bad CEO?
Yeah, that's
my initial thought was bad CEO.
That is easier to be a bad CEO?
Because a bad CEO in a company.
Which one is harder or which one is easier?
Harder.
Which one is harder, to be a bad CEO or a good CEO?
If you're trying. You see, you're trying to be a good CEO.
Assuming that you're both putting out effort and you're good at it and one of you are bad at it.
Yeah, one of you are bad at it.
It is easier to be bad. It's more frustrating to be bad, but it's easier to be bad. It's harder to be a good CEO. Wait, that's a really good question. I'm not sure.
So why I said the bad one is because they have to be creative with they're actually trying, and
I'm biased because I know people like that.
And things are going badly and it's just not working out. Imagine that.
What you call harder now? Okay, I realize I'm biased because I know people like that.
So while I was thinking about harder, you're being creative, you're trying to do this, but you're always in the wrong direction. And you know the earnings is being bossy vex and have to keep trying to pull some other way to get money. Versus, hey, I know the way.
Oh, no,
I know way to make it right, and I'm doing it right every single time.
Okay. Okay.
Like your effort is there, but the amount of work you're putting out.
That's so lucky.
I feel like we do a lot less than a lot of people on the market. Not a lot less in terms of effort, but in terms of.
That's what I want to know. What do you call harder? Because I guess maybe I'm misunderstanding what you call harder.
So,
because like the people I know that are bad CEOs are just bad running a company not as well as it could. But I think there are two types. There are the people genuinely trying, but them don't know.
I feel that's the hard one.
There are different types, and then there are people that are generally trying and them learning, but they're working. It's rough. It's rough running a business. Right? It's not easy. Even when it's good, it's not easy. And there are people who like more concerned with the profit, not the actual profit. They're more concerned with the look, the image of profitability.
Oh yeah, man.
So there are people you'll see. Like they want to be known as CEO of whatever. Versus making profit. So they don't want to. So for them, not that they not make profit, they're not making profit. Usually they're not. Right?
They're not optimizing. They can be doing much more. They can be scaling. But guess what? I'm the CEO. Fix my tie and I look nice with everybody else.
But then I don't it's such a hard question. That's why I'm asking you what you call effort. What you call a harder.
Remember I said his initial thought was bad. I thought about it some more and I was really confused. I was it can really suck to be a good CEO.
It can be, because being a good CEO is hard. Yeah, because you know all the things that can go wrong. And you have to worry about it all the time.
That's what I was thinking about.
Same thing I said
the
when
bad ones
here
often the bad ones are running in it blind. They think this wrong thing is going to work out, and boy, it does knock them.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying on Andre's episode that everybody else in the company gets to go home. You don't.
You don't.
Yeah. You are always at work.
That's the sucky part about being a hired CEO. So Randy own a company, hires a CEO, and go sit back, relax, be the chairman, watch the show. He ain't watching it some level hands on, but I just hire this guy.
He has to get it right.
He must get my money right.
Of course.
And if you think that doesn't affect that guy,
of course.
And you vex you want them boy money and say, cool.
Of course.
You're stressed about it because you know he could do this better, whatever. You say trust him. No, he didn't take your trust. He say, here what? I have this man money and all of my reputation. Because but when you lose your own money,
it's worse when you lose
somebody else's money. Because imagine Randy hired me as the CEO and I go lose Randy's money.
Yeah, no, without problem.
Nobody's hiring me again,
Well, you know what? I don't know if they'd find you, but
but I'm not the CEO to hire anymore. Yeah, good CEO, you make the money and Randy go hate to see me go, if anything.
Well, you don't allow a good CEO to leave. Good CEOs don't get to leave. Yeah. They tried. If they leave, they have to leave for like the love. Yeah, and then that's why good CEOs tend to run businesses, or really good CEOs tend to be people who started the business and very passionate about it.
Because they're really about the business.
The thing that keep you up at 3 o'clock of your own volition is the thing that will always keep you up at 3 o'clock. And if that thing happens to be something that you built into a company that that's turning money and is great, it's always going to keep you up at 3 o'clock.
So unless if you are stressed, guys, they're happier with their stress than a lot of people. Basically, I work for a man, they go home late every day, and it's me now make the money. My paycheck is the same no matter what. Yeah.
Like I want to say that happiness is not a function of money there, but
happiness it's not. We always say happiness. Money doesn't make you happy, but it certainly helps.
Let me tell you something.
You can put in a good direction to be happy.
Poverty taste, it does not taste great.
Right, deaf, bro.
Yeah, it's rough.
I am so happy for my privilege of never tasting true poverty.
Oh God, yeah. Well, yes, jeez, yeah.
My parents, they did a lot.
Yeah,
my parents did an amazing job. A good thing about why I'm here right now is in terms of the level I'm able to invest. My parents didn't pay student loans for me.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I dropped out of school because of student loans.
Yeah, you find your story. So that's my privilege above you.
Yeah.
If you never had that issue, you'll be if your parents could afford everything I'm sending you through, then you'll be fine. You get a degree and everything cool.
I always wonder when I was really young, I got an invitation to go to I would have gone to school in Europe. in some city of I remember watching, I can show my age, but VCR, so you got tapes. They actually send tapes to it for you to sign up, and like the whole city is a city of students.
Yeah.
So it's really the thing in the town is a college, and it's
a college
Europe,
town.
and
Yeah,
it's amazing. And my mother is not sending me to
there.
Europe when I'm not a teenage boy, not going to Europe. I just wonder, like in some other dimension, if I did that, like who am I?
Harry Potter.
I literally always wonder, like, who would I be? Would I be? A couple of things in my life like that I always wonder about. Wow.
The opportunities they didn't take.
Yeah, the road not taken.
Well, this is why we're here. With opportunities, we make sure we find them. Because as much as work we do on the market, if something sticks by it, that pains me, you know.
Yeah, man, it hurt.
Because it's like, I was looking at, my scope was so big.
Every single one of
and
them
it was not wide enough.
Every single one of them still hurt because I watched the entire market. Every single one of them still, even the ones that I look on and I say, okay, this is going to happen, right? But maybe it's not big enough for me to go into.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not good enough, or maybe like I look in 70% over 6 months or a year, and this might give me 33%, right?
Actually.
And I say, let me leave it. Even with the 33%, it hurt me. It bothered me.
I think that's how the smaller money investments we make, that's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's like,
we see the opportunity and we just don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
In reality, we're being impractical because if we're...
No, you're not being impractical, you're diversifying.
Yeah, sure.
It's a good thing.
Same level, we have the same level of thing there, certainty about two things. One is 70 and one is 33. Okay. It only makes sense to go into the 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure. This is where diversification have the argument, or split it in case the uncertainty part actually hits you. But we're not in this for that. We're actually trying to make money.
There we go.
Talking to some guys after Khalila's thing, big up the youths, they know themselves.
Yeah. Them is
And
impressive.
they were doing the same things we were doing with Wigton. Wigton had a nice spread and high volatilities. Not high volatility, high volume.
Yeah. Because by its nature, it moves with heavy volume because a lot of the big people moving outside. And I think a lot of people, Wigton, I hope Jamaica gets to the point where people should write a book about that. Wigton has made a very large amount of people in Jamaica rich.
Yeah.
That weren't rich before. In one go, in 1 year.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to see the effect of that for maybe 5 years. Because their volumes being cashed out by regular people.
And remember the loans that were put onto Wigton people. So NCB and Mayberry were giving people loans to go into Wigton.
Yes.
So I could have doubled my money going into Wigton. They made sure
without having it. Yes.
So suppose I can scrape together $1 million from my family and them friends, and then I put a loan on top of that.
Brethren, I'm just telling you from my small view, things I see, people that DM me, people that email me, people I know in person.
Yeah.
People who poor. A few of them I'm thinking have lived in Spain and proper them live badly. Not terribly, but they're not rich at all. Right? But they went to school like around the time I went to school. Get a job, not necessarily big, but them doing okay, and them have some savings, and mommy have some savings. Usual get a people story. And everything went in Wigton.
And then
them low point of coming out is 83% off. I am take it off. And then put there are people who for them, I mean, it's people who have money, or in fact people who think that they have money, or is ready to tell other people how to deal with them, or what is money. You can't tell somebody what is money because you don't know what it is for them.
Yeah, like same thing. Just don't police people's money.
Yeah, literally, don't police people's money because you don't know what it is for them.
Exactly.
But I like, if I know somebody who I know, say, if you walk into them life now and you give them 300 grand cash, you have changed. You could change the direction of their entire generation. So imagine by 300 grand cash. Imagine them pool together and get 500,000, including sync up the partner, draw them, and everything going Wigton, and then come out close to 100%. Yeah.
And just, I know both some partners that are going to Wigton.
Few people, I know people who owe people money, and then have to pay it back, and then put out Wigton.
Happy.
What?
Wow.
And it's a wide. I don't think anybody. I mean, the economists, the serious economists, should really look on the effect of that. It's a wide. You always talk about how there is a transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, extraction. But something like Wigton has. I mean, I'm not saying they created. I don't know, but I know that I've never in my life seen so many disparate, different people who don't know each other.
Yep.
get a boost in them pocket within a year
And
from something that
you change lives, you know, bro.
yeah,
So my
whole
barber,
heap of people here, you know.
my barber invested, and every time I go to him now, him talk about him thing that talk about investing because he
Yeah.
want to know him. Other day him said that I have free information I get off for you. Come, no, you not talk to certain people. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Man start thinking about money a certain way different. He has one of the things there. You know the mobile payment platforms, no? Where you can just collect your payments. Man say, you're what?
Oh, like let me not give out no sponsorship, yeah.
Yeah, like a mobile.
No, you know,
POS.
big up NCB. Like NCB have it.
Actually, you got from NCB.
Yeah, I should big up Doug Hall Salt because my NCB Quisk is also part of the Quisk platform. I know a couple of barbers use that, so yeah.
So him say, oh, not too much working people. Since he started looking at his money a different way, and how he can utilize his money, he's not looking at how I can collect my money and put it into the market.
Yes.
So he said, hey, yo.
So hold on, him have a business, making money. And him taking that money and him investing it in somebody else's business in order to make more money for himself, right? And while him do that, the brokers them getting them 2% both off both ends, right?
So that's more money in the system.
Oh my God.
Thing the right name. So man of a thing they know.
That's why I don't cost. That's why you don't see me. I try to help people who jump into IPOs for the pop, but I don't cost them. Because I understand people. Like we live in a country where people play cash pot to guess what a man play. And the odds on an IPO are
much better.
Are orders of magnitude better than cash pot.
Definitely.
And worse, everybody feel exceedingly bright, so people think them no are gone. I feel say.
And it's funny because you can even.
And you don't really ever lose. You don't lose everything. In cash pot, you either win or lose everything. But in this,
you can
a loss is that you've lost 8%. And that's why I talk to people, because what I'm trying to do is reduce the risk for everybody across the market.
That'd be so good. Imagine that, Mark.
But I am doing it, you know. And everybody else doing it. Everybody else that talks about it, the more it gets popular, is the more the risk is reduced. Because of course, everybody not really doing the homework. You and I know that. People,
trust me.
People want to. The most annoying ones are the people who try to sound like them do them homework. Like you think I don't know what I'm talking about? You can't fake sound like what I'm saying. It has to make sense. Yeah. I'm going to know if you don't know what you're saying, because I am not making it up either. I'm actually talking about that thing. It's like it's like when you're in Florida and you come across those Jamaicans who I'm from Jamaica, you know. It's like you're from Moco. Oh, that's where your grandma is from. Yeah. She's from Pepin or something. You get them all the time. They know, and like the only reason I know you're fake is like you have to come from Jamaica to know that this is not Pepin, right? Is that nobody says that? My out is no, you know. What them say on Top Boy? We're definitely beeping that. but yeah, he's a waste, man. You get me? If you don't. Only if you're Jamaican, you know. Like from with my brothers, I wait for it. And there's like we're at a party or something, and there's some Jamaican coming, and they're very Jamaican. And them saying something. I see my brother look over to me. I look over him like, yeah, right. Here comes the king from Moco. You can get the immediate knowledge when somebody's faking it.
Yeah, definitely.
And them don't know, but them think them know. And it's the same exact way with investing. Yeah. See, people should just.
Nobody vocal like the fakes, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, nobody's as vocal as the fakes. And always trying to prove that, but avoiding the thing that allows you to prove.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the thing that helps most people is just the knowledge. And that's why I try to talk, because it reduces the amount of risk out there. The more people know what's good and what's bad. That's why I started, let me do the IPO, the grow.
Yeah.
Because it reduces the risk of the people who are jumping in just thinking that this sound good. Yeah, that's why as annoying as it is, I talk to people the same way. I try and get the information out there.
It does so much for people too. The more people invested in the market, then the more people actually have a savings plan that's actually giving them money.
There's that too. The back end of it is that them actually making money.
People in Jamaica can take part in business in Jamaica.
Yes.
And I know a business, well, guess what? I own a business with that guy. I book a piece of business and I'm doing it well, so I'm making money with him. Regular
Jamaicans eating food from it. That's why, like, a friend messaged me, yo, I like these messages. I want to find it. I want to load her up. And I get them. I like that. I say it, and I get them more and more and more and more and more. She knows if I want to get the exact message, because I felt good and I read it. She said to me, she said she owe me a bottle, which I like. So I tell her, say, yeah, give me one of them scotch, because I like scotch. Scotch don't like me. but I like Scotch. It's a terrible love affair. So she sent me a picture of it and said, I deserve better than the regular white label doors, which I agree with. I do. I do deserve better than that. And so she was sending it to me, and I said, it's cool, send it, thank you. And then she told me why she sent it to me. And she sent it to me because she said 2.3 million gains on the portfolio.
Shoo.
And she's looking for 10 million next year. I rate that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when she started, and she was confused.
She ready.
Yeah, and in no time at all. Look where she is. I mean, it's not magic, it's over time. I like this because this would have been. She just started the same time as you, or a little after you.
Yeah.
Or after
Was she in the group?
Yeah.
Probably know her.
Yeah. A couple of people from the group have quietly thanked me. And the more I think about that group that I've
A
done
couple of
over
people from
there.
that group are moving actual money, because I remember when you said the other day. But before you left, you said how much was actually moving $1 million in trading.
Yes. That was
trust me, some other people now are moving.
That's what I wanted to hear. They were saying no then, are now moving $1 million. Yeah,
saying yes, no.
Out of that group for almost a year now. Yeah, that's what I want here.
And the conversations I have with people in that group.
You're going to get people killing you now to join the group. You shouldn't talk about the group on the podcast. Right. People at H Danai, at H Danai, not me. I don't have nothing to do with the group anymore. He's Danai.
That's fine.
Right?
Guess what? I have a course.
Yeah.
And that's the entry.
Yeah, I do respect that you guys have always kept that up. There's
so if you don't, if you don't, so the course is really for dedication. Mm-hmm. You learn and you have to show me that you actually want to do this thing for yourself, because the group is no hand holding. There's a thing we said, the rules, no spoon feeding. Yeah. So if you're in that group and you ask a question, then prepare to hear it, tell us. You're going to have to go out and do some research and answer that question yourself. Oftentimes you can't answer the question yourselves, but if you show that, I did X, then probably group meet you halfway and try to push you. Or so you get some questions and that can lead in the right direction. Well,
as somebody who has always been a proponent of that, I can tell you, it's very rare you meet somebody that is not intellectually capable of answering the questions.
Definitely.
And it's also rare that you meet somebody in this day and age that is not simply capable of finding the answers to the question. Because you and I know where we find answers to the question. Like you sit down on your phone. Yeah. So you find answers to your questions. Look in there. One thing that I should do, I don't know if I ever made it known, that's why I did it also. Not only does it show if the person is serious, because it takes, how much time it takes to bring somebody along the path, but it also allows them to learn the language, because there is a little bit of a language barrier in finance.
Yeah.
And if I always talk about people who hate numbers, and I'm hearing them hate numbers.
I hate word them, trust me.
So the language in finance also kind of alienates them. So what part of it I used to push people to do that course is it also makes my conversation with them after that easier. So it's even if you don't get it, even if you're thinking of making the money properly, you're not getting it right, even if you don't like it, even if you don't even pass the course, you're now more familiar with certain little things.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. You know what people mean when they say the bottom line, they mean net profit.
Net profit.
Yeah. You know what people mean when they say revenue is good. You understand when somebody say, you might make money, I don't know. You might make revenue, or you might make profit. You get it? Yes. You hear a girl be and say, you have some man, them look them very revenue-ish, them look very cashy. Yeah, them look very cashy, but the profit line weak.
Revenue-ish.
We look very revenue-ish. Yeah. But then again, I guess everybody likes revenue.
Definitely.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about if an expense doesn't care about the profits.
And revenue is a very interesting thing for some people with some companies.
Oh, I like that. Bring it back to the market that night. Let's go.
So other companies play around in how much. Good one. People don't understand what revenue does. Because I always talk about profit, because at the end of the day, more has some profit line.
Yeah.
You make some money, show me so you can give me the money.
That's
despite your operations.
That's the point. Everything else is pretense.
Well, there are some companies on the market, they get a lot of revenue, and they get space to play around with that revenue. You can invest in short-term instruments, and you get that thing. They get a little interest income.
Yep.
You go finance this deal over there, or go actually work out for you. You buy some more stock, and you don't pay certain expenses yet. So the timing of your revenues really works out for some companies where they make more revenue off it.
Yeah, man. A lot of companies are you'll see companies put on a heavy push. Listed companies is easy. They always put heavy push before the end of the quarter. We have to come in with the good numbers. Yep. That's one easy example right there. Yeah. I used to have that at Carreras. I mean, every month is important. Yeah. Every month is important, but the quarter end is important. Do not screw that up.
You know where you think though, again, you know where predictions are. Everybody come in the predictions, within quarterly predictions. And
sometimes
that
this
last month,
quarter,
you know, when they fall in, you know how far you reach.
sometimes the end of this month need to make up for a rough month last month. You have to find it. You're gonna have to find it. I'm not saying forward selling is not allowed, but I'm saying maybe he wants to buy 10% more this month because my numbers have to be good. And then what you do after that
that's
is
good marketing. That's a good push. Imagine this.
That's why it's harder to be. That's why it's harder to be a good CEO. Because if you're a bad CEO,
you say, boy, in the road.
if the numbers never come in, And you just leave it.
Find anyway. Yeah. There's no innovation.
There we go.
And imagine that you found a way to get them to buy 10% more of your stock.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find a way to that every month going forward. And guess what? Your revenue was gone up by 10% across the board every month. But yeah, thing there.
No, you're right. You're perfectly right. It's a hard game to play. The more you know, but it's even harder the less you know. You just don't know how bad it is for you.
Yeah, being close to business, you learn a lot. So I would encourage anybody that has any friend in business that monitors their numbers on a regular basis. So that they do financials, probably not audited, but even unaudited financials on a monthly basis. If you can look at the business and look at what happens across month to month. So some months, you beat the projections the 2 months in, and yeah, man, we're good. And you get a loss in that third month. And boy, guess what? It's below projection now. You can't explain that to bossy. So yeah, the month to month, we see in 3 months, you kind of get a good view, but a better view will be, I don't want to say better there.
You get a more comprehensive
view, yeah, definitely.
Because you always want more information. So I come right back to education. You work in the market, you work out of the market, you work in the companies, you work everywhere. It's just logic. That's why it works in fiction, and you can take the concept from fiction, like we were saying earlier, and apply it in real life. So that quote, and them say everybody say it, nobody know who say them say it, but if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. It's just like with ignorance, you don't know how much it costs you. Yeah. That's dangerous.
Stock market.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know how this company makes money, but
it's so funny. Talking to people, I'm always say how sure we sound.
Yeah.
Especially in real life, how sure we sound.
Other times I know what I know.
But
other times I don't. Other times I know what I don't know. But certain things, if you don't know it, you just don't know it.
Exactly. Right? But you've accepted that there is a certain realm within this space that I don't know this.
I'm not going to talk about it, and trust me, I'm happy if you can come tell me about it.
I'm happy if you can prove me wrong on something, because I've learned more.
I learned more. Oh, Lord. And you don't save my pocket. Because I was fully gunning to go in on this stock, and you come and show me, say, no, man, I rubbish shit about it, not going to do well. And you actually have a good reason behind it. Then guess what I just did? I never lost any money on that stock. So that's strong opinion said loosely.
Yeah. For Tim Senteti, I'm telling bad luck.
I still can't read it, bro.
You can't. Well, like I said, it's Latin, so nobody who knows it is alive. That as making a point earlier about fear, though, because I mean, it's fear that drives a lot of what I know. Is it what I know, or is what we do, like how we invest?
Yeah,
I do tell you that I want people to talk about like what they would want to talk about. One of the things that people are saying, so you know what to buy. They don't ask it like that, but that's usually what it is. How you know what to buy. Like, how do you assess risk? How do you know the right price? They usually say it a million different ways, or really I'm asking, so you know what to buy. And what they don't know, they're asking, and that's where the ignorance of education come in. They're also asking, how do you know what to sell and when to sell it?
Yes. Funny. You're right. They don't know that they're asking that too.
Yeah, they're asking it, but they don't know they're asking it. Yeah. When somebody asks me, yo, you think Wisynco is a good company? What you're really asking me is, do you think Wisynco is a good company that's going to match my personal goals, that will allow me to make the amount of money that I want to make within the amount of time that I have, that will match what I really want in my life? So you need to tell me when to buy it and when to sell it. And when I say, dog, I can't tell you that, you say, yo.
Yeah.
Martin, please edit that again.
Funny. I'm glad they brought us back to my original point about Wisynco and the PE being high, because I looked at it and I was like, when I look at PE, what I'm looking at that point in time for that purpose is, has the market priced in the future expectation? Because there is a baseline on, people have a rough PE they like to work with. It doesn't happen all the time. That's just any stock market, to be honest. Companies outpace evaluations based on future expectations being too high or too low, sure. But if I look at Wisynco, and I don't think it can grow beyond a certain region in the period of time we're looking at, then if the PE is high, air quotes, then I'm not buying. I wouldn't look at Wisynco as I buy it for me at that point in time. So Wisynco's PE, I think it was 28 when I was looking at it for that. Wisynco.
And so you wrote it off completely?
No, I just said with current information.
Yeah.
No, I did know I have to go and look back at the impact of the snack sales with the JP.
You see, you're making the same mistake that I made.
What's
I
that?
tell people the story about the Lasco bottles, right? It's not the notice in the PE. It's not the noticing of the PE that remove the risk. Is the follow-up to investigate why the PE is there. Because sometimes the PE is high and the PE is going to drop.
PE is going to drop.
Yeah.
Because
junior market companies have that all the time. Yeah, PE got 40 and them coming with 100% earnings. Boom, they're coming with 150.
And
200% sometimes.
So you need to buy again.
I get it, right? Because they're growing. Because PE really, and then you'll have a high PE.
Have a high PE.
Because sometimes somebody's willing, suppose I know said this thing on triple its earnings over the next year.
Then there's no reason.
But its PE currently is 35. And only sales in the queue is at the 40 level. And somebody might say, who the hell would buy this stock at a PE of 40?
Well, me, because guess what? I'm making more money just buying that.
Exactly.
Look at...
Because really I'm buying it for when it's a PE of 13.
Exactly.
In the future, but people seem to forget that we buy for the future. I think them buy to think them get it now.
Yes, definitely. But I don't know if there's a term for this. But look at the PE. It's always to look at the PE for the price that you got it at.
Oh, people always do that. They look at the PE for the price they get it. I don't think they get that you're supposed to look at the PE with relation to where it's going to go.
No, man. I mean, so in the future now.
Yeah.
And the stock move up. Sometimes you look at the PE, you got it and you're like, oh, right there, the price I have it at, it's a really good deal.
Exactly. Yeah, to assess whether or not you get the price at the right stock. Yeah, you work backwards on the PE.
So, that's actually a good deal.
Yeah, you get that. You get that backwards. Yeah, I get that.
So
It's an advanced growth
thing. It's a 40 PE when I buy it. But when it moves into a PE of 15 because the price go up. Imagine my PE or the price I bought that. At the current earnings, when it has a 15 PE, at current prices, but my price was 15 way back, and I made a gain on that. And my price was a 40 PE, so I made a gain on that. So it moved to 15. I'm pretty sure my PE is real. I can't calculate it right now.
No, you
my
should,
PE is
but I get
real.
it because that is nice. When you chart it, that is great.
And you start looking at, so
especially in a market like ours where profit is the god.
Yeah.
Is a god that nobody really likes to admit.
But you said it last night. You traded abroad.
Yeah.
And you know how
I mean, the US market love lots of things,
a lot of things,
but there's nothing that beats
profit.
That's why they call it the bottom line.
What's his name? Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Look at me saying what's his name to Warren Buffett. Like I don't talk about this man every day, right?
I hear about it every day. The Oracle of Omaha.
Oracle of Omaha. If you hear what he's talking, he preaches profit, you know.
And him no must.
Because it makes sense.
Let me tell you something. Unless you can control the company, where you can put something in the expense line and pay yourself, or you own enough of the stock that the dividends can manage the opportunity cost of you putting your money in the company. Or you're literally owning and running the company. Unless you're there, you need the company to be profitable because the company only pays you through one thing: a rise in the share price or a dividend. And dividends can only be paid from profits.
Yeah.
You can't tell me your cash flow could have good as gold. If you made no profit last year, you need to declare a profit before you can pay me some dividend.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, you see, lost money and they give me money. I don't explain. You pay no money that you need and you lost money. So where the money you need to operate where you come from, no?
Exactly.
Stock.
And nobody gives out all their profits.
Exactly.
As dividend, except for Carreras sometimes. I gather like that a couple of quarters when
super
they're
mature
special.
company that have the growth.
And guess what they pay those extra profits out of? Previous profits. At the end of the day, I can't believe that I'm in a section. I've lived to see a section of finance occur where elements of finance that believe that there is something bigger outside of the moral aspects of business, something bigger at the end of the day for our business than the profit. Yeah, so there's employment, there's a nation building, there's the, all of that.
You
But
can do all
outside,
that and still make money.
beauty of the thing, and you're doing it well.
And you know who does
when
it
you
best?
make it, when you make
Exactly.
money.
You know who's doing it best?
Who?
The profitable ones.
That's right.
So that
nobody
rates
rates leeching because NCB is making a loss.
Exactly.
All right. Everybody rates leeching because record profit.
And guess you always hear about NCB's wages.
Yeah.
They pay really well, and you know why they can pay really well?
Talent is expensive.
Exactly.
There
And
we go.
I'm making so much money that paying my workers really well is the hindrance to me. And I can capitalize on the gain in utility from each person because I pay them more.
Yes.
They're more incentivized to work, and it's making me more money.
And that's why the CEO is paid so heavily.
So heavily.
And I say a good CEO is paid so heavily.
Yeah,
because a good CEO is expensive. Because
Yeah.
Patrick Hilton, my lord.
Yeah.
Everybody rates leeching. Patrick Hilton, my lord.
That
Remember this, when the helicopter fly in, when the helicopter fly in, leeching is on it. Or when the helicopter fly out, leeching is on it, right? But when the building is there, Patrick Hilton is there,
working.
right?
Yeah.
So, and he's the person that Leachin assigned to hand that he trusted.
Exactly. I have to trust
bringing a
this man with my money.
CEO. Yeah.
You remember say,
I rate that man. I mean, his compensation is strong, but I've met the case to our brethren where they and them say I'm crazy that I still think that he's underpaid.
Oh yeah, I would make that case too. I'll be fine with me.
Yeah, I still think he's underpaid because if you thank you, I'm pausing quietly. Big up Bam Studios, big up Bam from Bam Studios with this nice water. I'd love to say it was sponsored by Wisinko, but it's not.
Yeah.
Bam paid for it.
Big up Wisinko anyway.
Big up Wisinko anyway. Yeah.
Help us make some money on this market, right?
Am I a Wisinko shareholder?
I'm not
Not
currently.
right now.
It's been a while, but
Yeah, but big up Wisinko nonetheless.
maybe one day.
Yeah. I made some money and they make more and they continue to grow. Yeah, for the people with the long term, you can't go. There are much worse long term picks than Wisinko.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Wisinko is one of the really strong
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you can say I won't call them the NCB of their sector, but they're not.
Oh.
They're not. They're the Wisinko of their sector.
sector,
Big them up. They're their own thing.
definitely.
Yeah. And Wisinko bigger. Wisinko is still very much Jamaican, which is impressive to me.
Yo, we lost. We say same thing Sagicor and the last thing there. We spoke about how we lost Sagicor and JMB is bringing it back.
We lost Life
so
of
much.
Jamaica.
Yeah, man. So you talk about how much foreign people are in here invested, owning companies in Jamaica. We lost a lot.
Yeah, but big up William Mahfood.
Big up William
Yeah,
Mahfood.
man.
Keep it
Keeping
Jamaican.
here.
Yeah.
And making it here. Remember that, for almost every business, everybody, there's another thing that bad CEOs love to do. Anytime nothing going on in your little plot of land, you start look next door.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, we're going to concentrate on exports.
To me, it
No,
seems like you
brother.
don't understand what's going
Find
on.
it right here,
Yeah.
so.
Wisinko did not focus on exports.
Yeah, they
Like
don't
basically,
even know. Even though I don't think exports are like what, 2-3%?
Exactly. Domestic market is doing so well for them.
Yeah.
So Carib Cement bringing back local so
production.
So the thing there,
They were
export
exporting to
market,
Trinidad back in the day.
they wasn't. Yeah, but recently they put out something saying, hey, they were cutting out exports, put everything local.
Which was expected. They make better margins locally too.
Thank you.
And there's
People don't understand that, right?
I don't know if people see that. I don't think if people go that deep.
I know people that don't understand that.
Here's the thing. Part of that same thing that we do with Wisinko. So Wisinko, they made it locally. They do it locally. They find it completely locally.
Yeah.
And it's always easy for a bad CEO to look overseas. And once things start get pressure on them, start talking about them going to do for export and going to go there. The truth is, outside of Jamaica is a wild place,
Yep.
And there's countries like China that can make everything you can make for cheaper. And even if it's not cheaper, them can just decide that here, it's cheaper. We want the market, so it's cheaper now. Boom. What are you going to do about it? Nothing.
And they can service more markets. So you
Yeah.
know, we think crowded out often.
Yeah. So maybe I can't sell to Jamaica because Jamaica only have 2.7. But then the Caribbean altogether have 100. And so, okay, maybe I'm like, all right, so we produce for 100 odds and we'll launch some other different brands. But flood the market with it. Yeah. Try just make 0.5% profit. Let's just see the market for 2 years and then we'll try and make profit. You want to go there and compete against the guys who can do that? I mean, there's big money out there, but there's big sharks out there.
Big sharks out there too.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you have to love the pond that you're in.
Yep. Bigger pool, bigger fish.
Yeah. They say, do you want to be a a big fish in a big pond fighting other big fish, or you want to be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Or in this case, I'd like to say you want to be in the pool that's growing and growing with everybody.
Yeah.
Because we don't know who the giants of tomorrow are going to be.
Jamaica's waters are overflowing and spilling out, pulling the rest of the Caribbean. You say Jamaica is the financial capital of the world.
Yeah. The Caribbean. Definitely, not the world, not yet. One day.
I misspoke.
Oh, God, I wish.
But somebody just said something. Also, one of the questions somebody asked, thoughts on the number of private equity that has come in recently. Do they look at the US market any at all, and any thoughts there? They
you look at the US market?
And SEAF.
Which one are you answering first?
Thoughts on private equity.
I mean,
that has come in recently. SEAF, they have a deal with Sagicor where they're bringing pushing 100 million to private equity. I think Sagicor is financing 20 million. This is US. If you look at that, the fact that they said we're investing in the Caribbean, but Jamaica will be our major touch point through which we invest in the rest of the Caribbean.
Yeah, hub and spoke model.
Like you just the fact that they're here in Jamaica to invest in the rest of the Caribbean, that says a lot. Something good is going on in Jamaica, and we're dragging the rest of the Caribbean with us.
Yeah, it's funny because the Caribbean was. I mean, you know, we were great then for a long time. We weren't financially, and it looked like we're gonna come up again, and everybody was taking a beating.
But
guess what? With skins so thick, we used to the beating. So you call a beating?
We get beaten regular, we can dodge it.
Yeah, have some water. Yeah, well, you guys don't have small loans companies? You don't pay their loan companies? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna need that when you're poor. Guess what? We have a couple companies that offer that service, you know. Yo, think about that. 10 years ago, Access Financial was a small company that has actually grown like a legit 10 times its share price. I don't remember the exact details. I think the share price went up to $18. They had a 10 times stock split. And it got down to, so if it was at 18, it got to $1.80 something cents, if I have the price right. And the share price got right back up to 18. And where they
trading at 40 something
and proven
sell it at 38?
Yes.
38.
And it's the same company. And it's the same company that started. That's how huge that company is. Yeah. I imagine in the Caribbean and you're not necessarily used to.
But imagine what they're doing now too. They're going abroad.
Exactly.
Taking loan companies in America. I know I say this a lot, but I love hearing. Look at Jamaica stepping. I think Jamaica's population. So when we look at the type of the size and population of Jamaica is restrictive in terms of how far they can grow doing certain things. So we need to actually be in other markets, pulling pieces of those markets to us so we can be on a certain level. Like,
just generally, you need a certain level of population for certain things to happen. In fact, I suspect that part of why we have had the lagging economic growth is because we don't have enough of a population boosted in order to do it a certain way. Yeah, Haiti at the end of the day should be able to grow, and I think might have been growing heavier than us, but it's able to grow because Haiti have 10 million people. Poor as I think them have 10 million people and the whole of them have to eat.
Yeah.
The whole of them have to buy food.
So that's the light bulb BPO. BPO it's not necessarily like this specifically, but it's a company abroad is paying. So instead of paying a worker abroad, I'm going to pay a Jamaican.
Yes.
So when I'm at that call center, I'm being paid by, say, Amazon to take Amazon's call versus Amazon paying. Yes, it's a lower rate than they make, but that's just markets.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to argue that one. But they're just saying, hey, I'm pay a Jamaican. That's somebody in Jamaica not having to pay a Jamaican. So his money can do something else in the economy.
That's beautiful. There's a specific name for that. I remember when I was in the Bloomberg course.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we talk about how if they could. I think it was Buffett himself who said if he could put him workforce on a barge and ship it across because he wants to take advantages of the rates.
The rates, the wage rates,
and the difference between the two. And the
thing is,
but that's big. That's some big money plays.
So to US,
shout out to the people that are doing those locally because they are there. Yeah, they are the people locally who are investing, because there's one and two people in the houses who invest. There's a couple of people in those houses who invest against that, and some of them do it very well. And there are actually some quite rich people in Jamaica who do it on their own and have done it on their own for a long time. Yeah. But one I know of is, he's American, but I'm in Jamaica all the time. Yeah. Like it's his second home. Yeah. Usual story. Come out here. One of them
See
young
goal and
girls.
just go.
Yeah, they exactly. Him see goal.
Ah, boy.
Him see goal at Frenchman. And Frenchmen see him.
All right. So thing there. So on Jamaica, on the company's part, hey, I'd have to pay this US worker because it costs more to pay him than Jamaica. On Jamaica's part, we don't have jobs. This guy needs to be paid. Instead of squeezing him into another job where we crowd the job and just to make employment higher and he probably get paid less. He just take some of that American money coming across. And why it's in the reverse when a company goes and invests in buys a company abroad. That's all right. So this company is in its own market, making money, growing big, whatever, and that money belongs to a Jamaican company. That money belongs to Jamaica.
Yeah. Immediately, it's like you're not robbing, but you grab it from his pocket.
Cool. Oh, you made that money pass it.
Yep.
So you think it's your money? No, I have 100% clear money or profits.
Yep.
And speaking of, you paid a VM taking the Barbados loan company, taking a piece of that small loans company.
Yep. Right when Barbados is at its point where it's going into its rough time with the IMF. But I feel like Barbados gonna come through it fighting. It's always easy when you have the path. Because you'd have seen Jamaica go through the path. Which is why we also have a run.
No, we're the poster boy, you know.
Yeah.
We're the Germany. The IMF or the IMF did something with Germany. We did something for Jamaica now.
Yeah, but I don't think
it's different, but
it is
in terms of advertisement.
The students of history know that one.
Now where they see it's possible, we did it again.
Yeah. But you're right. It's great to see us reaching out, grabbing into something else. Of course, we know already. JMB doing it also.
JMB doing it now.
Yeah.
JBG been doing it and doing it again.
Yeah.
Had a good conversation.
JB's hear this?
About the way they're going to sell chickens. Because remember they're actually best dressed chicken going to be sold abroad.
Yes.
They're branding this.
They're
one.
branding it. Yeah.
So it's not just egg something.
It's an entire corporation, a proper corporation, full vertical.
Yeah.
Nobody can kick you out.
Exactly.
Yo, that bad.
And we're already pressuring them on the eggs. But what's killer to me, I was looking at America chickens and the true competitive market. They're not competitive in terms of margins and the way money can be made in America. Talk about Jamaica being restricted because of the size of the population. America is protected by the size of the population. It's hard for when things are bad across America, things go really bad. It's hard for things to go bad across all of America because there's so many microeconomies within it.
Yep. It truly is a set of states that are united.
Exactly.
It's truly the United States. Yeah. That is their strength.
And America has micro markets.
Huge.
So you can...
No, speak on it, because I know where you're going.
Micro market, yeah, sure. Yeah. JBG's, if you listen to Jamaica Brothers, is advertisement out here. Oh, our chickens have never seen hormone, they're naturally grown, blah, 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 blah. America eats that up. When America hear organic chicken, brother.
Organic Jamaican chicken. Organic Jamaican chicken. Hold on. You know I like the nice heavy cell, but I always tell you, make it at home first. JBG, if you are living in New York, in the cold, on the Babylon thumb, and you go in your supermarket, or your bodega in New York, and you look in the corner, and you see best dressed chicken, there's no way you cannot buy it. You must buy it.
Yeah.
You must buy it.
Stamp on it that says.
And you say, that can't be the real Jamaica broilers this? Are the real best dressed chicken?
Yeah.
So remember saying 2.7 million Jamaicans are in Jamaica now. 2.7 million Jamaicans are also in the diaspora.
Yeah.
And those Jamaicans I mentioned earlier. If you think
oh
my God, they do everything. They're more Jamaican than me. They're Jamaican tattoos. Are they a Jamaican tattoo?
Yeah. And if I think there, if they do the organic push.
Hold on, let me save myself a whole heap of trouble. Not everybody that I know in Florida that has a Jamaica tattoo is a Jamaican. All right, I cannot take the heat when I get to Florida. All right, guys, I'm not talking about you guys. You don't even know what I'm talking about. My brothers know what I'm talking about. It's not you guys. It's chill. If you have a Jamaican tattoo, you're Jamaican. All right, just chill, please. I can't take the flames.
Yeah, man. So that organic push, the Americans love that. The fact that this wasn't this saw no hormones, this saw no GMOs. That itself is a marketing strategy. You just put a seal there, say, hey. Naturally grown chickens, and you can charge more.
Yep.
And the beauty of America, I don't have to sell to all of America. You know?
No, I just have to sell to
I
a
know my
specific
market.
distribution. Distribution runs America.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, they're smart. They go, you take your easy sell to do your base, and then you use the base to go into the harder sell. So I go through the Jamaicans who, no Jamaican has to be convinced about the quality of Best Dressed Chicken, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna buy Best Dressed Chicken over. I won't say. I mean, I said Tyson, whatever. I don't care. Okay, Tyson's a boxer. I'm not eating Tyson. I'm gonna eat Best Dressed Chicken. Right? It's the Best Dressed Chicken. Everybody's dressing best. No, big up the BOJ crocodile. but yeah, it's the Best Dressed Chicken. I'm going to buy that. And then immigrant communities speak to each other, right? So.
Yeah, man.
The people from Barbados in America, the people from Trinidad in America, they're all going to do it, right? Yeah, you're in college in the US, and your parents give you money, and you over there, you go to the supermarket. I'm going to buy the Best Dressed Chicken if it's there, because I know that.
Mommy must be Best Dressed Chicken.
Then you must buy it. You must buy it. There's no going on it, and the chicken that you know. Not the weird foreign chicken, them big and look weird. Yeah.
People
injecting.
It's a real market there for people.
And then immigrant communities spread. If the Mexicans get onto it, that is it.
That's it. I think that
it has worked the other way. Sorry to cut it, but it has worked the other way. Remember that one of Jamtee's top 10 shareholders is Iberia Foods, which is a company that specializes in Latin. It's not just Latin. I don't want to say Mexican. It's not just Mexican, but proper flavor.
Yeah.
And so because they like what Jamtee is doing, and they're in the same axis, man take a stake in there. He distributes for them on that side. I think the teas. So he take a stake in Jamtee as a result of that.
Yeah.
You see how the synergies work? I rate Best Dressed, but it's a rich man's game, so it's a slow game.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you, it's time to build up. So if you want to put on a pension for your youth, man, start every month you put some money in some Best Dressed Chicken, man, because there's an entire US corporation. I saw a picture of some Jamaicans outside the new headquarters. They built an entire headquarters. And they must say them have farms in Virginia and whatever. Don't hear them right down the line. I rate them for that.
I think the thing they recently acquired, where they would be the touch point for the Best Dressed Chicken, it's in a completely different state. So it's in a state that they were not in before.
Yes.
So
when they completed the vertical.
New market.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, Jamaica. We've been poor so long. That's the word. That's everybody have them privilege. Yeah. Poor people also have them privilege. We know for work hard under pressure.
Money. We know what to do. Everybody else.
Oh wow. Big up Best Dressed Chicken.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Really good push.
You know what's a rate? You don't make the money him should make, but him find it anyway. Derek Cottrell from Derry, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. That man company has the margins are so thin. But the man find it anyway. Him have to go fight him find it.
And his pledge to buy a company every year so long as he can find the money.
Yeah, man, as long as you know he can find the money.
Grow. And then I think the plan is grow and rationalize so you can find better margins out of the companies you buy.
I think he's using the Facebook strategy. Or Facebook is using a strategy that's even bigger than him. It's a conglomerate strategy. So what you are might not be as lucrative, or it might not last as long as you'd like, but it carries, and that's where revenue is good. But it carries so much revenue that I can skip my revenue for a little while, or I can borrow against it because I have so much revenue at the banks will do that.
Yeah, your cash flow nice.
Your cash flow is great. I borrow against it. Even though your margins are super thin, I borrow against that, and my revenue can buy an entire thing, which is why I buy things like CFF, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances. So I buy things like
CFF, Woodcats. And Woodcats is the type of thing, distribution. He buys a company and makes pallets. That's synergies right there.
Immediately synergies.
And he's growing.
Because the man, how much palleting him using in operations, it just makes sense. It literally just makes sense.
You make some money out of this.
If you're going to spend heavily on something, own a piece of something.
Yeah.
And that's why I love when these things work together. That's why in fiction we can read about that and apply the concept in real life. It's the same way you take the concept here. If you're going to spend heavily on something, do it. That's why I always tell people, don't complain about the bank fees. Buy the bank shares, you'll get the bank dividends, and it make it less work. It make it less painful. That's exactly how it go. But it's the same concept you bring to real life. Think about this. How many big companies are waiting for JPS to list because we spend so much money on JPS that I need to at least eat some of these JPS dividends when them come out, or own some of these JPS shares, but just off straight principle. But I bring it to people in the same way in the real life. You think JPS can list and I don't own some JPS? I have to pay a light bill, you know?
I pay my light bill, so I guess that would be so he's making money.
That is the one stock that I will own out of principle. I will own and not sell out of principle. It's the only one that I will remove my financial common sense for and own out of principle because I don't have a choice. I must own it. And if you think that little me, when I have the money, must own some JPS. What about things like Wigton?
Yeah.
Wigton that works for JPS, that supplies JPS. What do you think?
It only makes sense.
Oh my God, man. Certain things, that's how the synergies work together. And if you as a you don't have a whole heap of money, but if you work for a listed company, if it's 100 shares alone, you can buy it. Even if you don't work for a good company, even if you work for a crappy company, own at least 100 shares. If you go into work there every single day, you need to own at least a piece. Just a principle.
That's a part of your work.
Straight up, just a principle.
You're working for yourself.
Yeah, man. Because guess what? Your grandfather couldn't do it. Or maybe he could.
Yeah.
Because we have had companies for a long time. Yeah. But if you work somewhere and it's a listed company, own piece. Nothing beats ownership. Nothing at all. That's my thing.
I mean, I've owned maybe I made quite a bit of money off of, not quite a bit, a good amount of money.
A nice amount of money, yeah. You mentioned MJE, I did stop you earlier. Tell me about MJE. I'll tell people about MJE.
Oh, so you're talking about the
value of it?
The value of it versus the price. The price being because the price, all right. The way I see price is value. Price is value, but value is always subjective. Price is...
We got the people who come grow.
So price is value. It just might not be what you think is the worth of it. So then the price isn't where you value it.
Yeah,
but that somebody gets up and pays for it. So I can go buy about MJE being $10 MJE NAV. Everybody talking about NAV and MJE have a NAV of 16 plus.
And it currently as of today it ended at $10.80.
60% growth. I think MJE should be having. Nobody go buy it. So guess what?
I don't touch it. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know better too.
Yeah,
you're right. I know better.
I fully believe I understand the market sentiment that people does not value MJE as more than that. So until they
are given reason to have to see it, and sometimes them get the reason and still don't see it. Yeah.
So
I've been praying for Chris Berry to do a nice dividend on it. Just like MPC. Just like MPC. I feel I'm kind of go, I did not open shares something. Rights issue. You have own shares already for EPs. just out of vex. You should have come in. You should have come in from the IPO. You ignore it.
And the funny part, you can buy 2 shares for 1 share. If you own 1 share, and they give you a good price. So even though we lock you out in time for owner piece, we still get a good deal on it. Because guess what? That 140 is the US exchange rate. So
I guess the best part, they're not really giving you a good deal now. They're giving themselves a good deal, but the beauty of the market is that you cannot give yourself a good deal and not give me a good deal also.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've tied myself to the ships of a richer man. The rule is that anything he's doing for himself, you have to do for me. You think Leachin did want to give me a 29% increase on the NCB dividend this year? No, if he could have keep it for himself, he would have keep it, and he should.
But he was very happy taking it for himself too.
But happy taking it for himself, saying, so everybody eat.
Take some to you, man.
Everybody eat.
You not forget something, so.
Yeah.
We are good out here.
NCB flat though. What do you think? They're $200 today.
AGIC should do well for their bottom line.
The $5 billion that them get? Big up that. That's a CEO that bought into his company too.
Yes.
I rate that you fret. I don't even know the guy, but I rate that you fret. It's a CEO that's some good old money and who else?
Are you happy?
And Sagicor Jamaica.
Yeah, imagine how happy you know how happy you should be. You're buying your own. You're buying a company you work how long for with a bank.
That must show you people say
the bank get a band sale, so that's a very good company, and you get a band sale. I work my teeth off for this.
Yeah, man, give me a piece. I got a piece. And I was like, how much you want? I was like, I want him to get like 3%. Yeah, whatever it is, I rate him. Yeah, man.
Own a piece and company.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how it should be.
People don't understand. I think we're on a tangent, but when people don't understand ownership and the implications of it. So in Sagicor wants some money out of AGIC and take it dividend.
They can't take it by themselves. The owner forgets it.
Owner, boy.
Have to get
Mr. CEO get a nice 3%. And
yeah,
AGIC pull some money. So I'm happy with that. Plus him pay a check.
That's how it go.
My boy is happy.
If you think Scotia is leaving the area, then you understand that Scotia can't just leave.
Can't just leave.
Even if them paying less attention and I'm gonna leave in a couple of years and just them downplaying themselves, which I have said in the not downplaying, but they're reducing their footprint. Then now I'll just leave. So I'm gonna leave someone the money that I'm gonna wait for the money, I go for the money. But they can't pay themselves the money alone. So they're going to give themselves a dividend. It's funny, you know what I'm going to look for with Scotia? I'm sure there is a management line from the owners.
Owners?
Yeah. I shouldn't say I'm sure.
But
I am not sure. I suspect that there's a management line, and it will be very interesting to see over the next few years if that management line increases in cost, because that's a way that the owners can feed themselves without paying a dividend.
Nobody kills a company just so.
Exactly.
And the thing is,
and that was a point of contention. Sorry to cut you, but there's a big bone of contention with Carib Cement back in the day, and still is, because have they when last Carib Cement pay a dividend?
Quite a while.
I don't think they paid a dividend in
but they were recently asked,
They're different what?
They were recently asked if they're going to pay a dividend.
They always, but they almost went to court over it.
But what happened was what we were saying for quite a while, actually.
Well, the old owners used to bleed it through in my opinion, not take that lawsuit, but in my opinion, the old owners used to compensate themselves mainly through a lease agreement, which allowed them to get money without paying a dividend.
Which is why the whole restructure happened.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they can't pay a proper dividend until the restructure, until the preference shares. They said they won't be paying a proper dividend because the claim on the profits that the preference shares has.
So in other words, the space that would be given over to a dividend essentially goes to the preference shares.
By the preference share owners. So
who are the owners of
the original owners of the lease.
Okay, but then is that still going on, or is that done now?
No, that's not done. The
lease done. The lease
but
done.
The preference shares are still there. So if you waiting on Carib Cement to start paying dividends, because they get a lot of cash, and it's paying towards something,
and it's a major.
So watch that preference share line, watch that cash flow statement, and you can see where they're buying. When they're repurchasing the shares.
The second they cash those shares back and get ready for it.
So,
the second they cash in those shares, get ready for it. Literally, that's how it works. The second they cash, matter of fact, if I own the company, if I own the common shares and I also own the preference shares, and you cash back in the preference shares, and I own a majority of the company, you immediately have to pay my dividend. The money, give me it right back. I mean, I just get some money because you just bought these back from me, but I want more. Yeah, because I need to pressure you. Also, I need you to understand that it's like a shift in the model of the company.
Exactly. Shifting strategy.
Yeah, remind me of SVL. When you see SVL got reworked. And it reminds me a lot of how Carreras don't know where is that it exists to make money and pay out that money heavily every quarter.
Exactly.
Very lean.
But that's what company is there for.
Where does it pay most of its dividends to again?
Who?
It pays SVL.
SVL?
It pays the dividends all over, but there's a good pay. A lot of it goes to MJE, So
MJE has quite a lot, and
like 70-something% of MJE is SVL.
70? What?
Or hold on, there's a number.
It was 50. It was around 50 at the time of the listing. I haven't
updated in a while, to be fair. So but I know that's what it is. And so what I do is I pay heavy attention to SVL's dividends.
SVL dividends because of what it does for MJE.
There was a time when SVL used to pay 17 cents as a dividend. It pays more now. And that's before them touch Guyana and them hitting Guyana heavy now.
All right, so before, when you hear us a PB talk, people talking about based on PB, and Randy's response to them was, you buy Mayberry?
Yeah.
If you buy, so MJE.
Yeah, if you believe in NAV, you're supposed to be buying MJE.
And Mayberry.
Yeah, but then they'll say that they think that SVL is overvalued right now.
Oh, yeah, sure. But
they don't actually say that, because what I do is I guess I'm actually tricky. I make them tell me what them people SVL first.
Yeah, I do that actually.
It's so funny. People don't actually... people would make so much more money if they simply invested in what they actually believe. Because you know why? The second you have to put your money in it, you realize I don't actually believe it. That is the real test, Yeah. Skin in the game. Big up man like Ryan Strawn.
Yeah.
Mandatory. Skin in the game. You find out if you really believe what you're saying the second you're going to put your hard-earned money on it. Yeah, man, that's what you know.
Press that button and say, wait, let me take a step.
Yeah, man. You're easy for talking now. But when you really want to, if you really have it right, man, put your money on it. Yeah. I don't mean put $5,000 on it if $5,000 is more is a small money to you. If you have real money and you're really doing it, put your money there.
Real money is in the equity market. So, you know.
There we go. Cannot get it wrong.
I don't real money outside of it.
That's exactly what it looks. That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't get it wrong. You can't afford to get it wrong.
Because you don't make this money, I will cry.
Which is why I do what I do and talk what I talk to the people to whom, I mean, I don't knock rich people, I'm not knocking anybody. The plan, everybody should want to get rich. But I talk to the people, I talk specifically mainly to and for the people who might not have a whole heap of money, or to whom the money they're putting in is serious money. Yeah, they have this rule investing. You always see it. And you're going through the US stuff, you see it, them in all the courses, them tell you it. It's a general quick rule. Only invest money you're willing to lose. Yeah, let me tell you something. Stop listening to what people at Barn and Ground say money tell you. All right, now invest the money and pay and treat it like you can't afford to lose it. Exactly. And that's when you will stop making mistakes and get it right.
My first investment was $10,000 at a time when $10,000 was very, very, very real now, but it was very real to me because my paycheck at the time was not heavy or anything, and I was an intern coming on to. I just left it. No, you know, I like me at it. I was an intern in the summer before, and it was February.
You had said that you got onto the...
I got onto the thing there, but my paycheck wasn't really high or anything. I was on a project for them. And
entry-level government.
Entry-level, not government.
Sub-government.
Yeah. So
government adjacent.
Yeah, man. So I wasn't really making a lot of money. When I put that $10,000 down, best believe I was wondering what the hell is going to happen now. I'm going to lose it. Not all of it, but I'm going to lose it. So that hit me hard. And when the thing Randy just said about investing in it, like, boy, you can't afford to lose it. It's when I said, I think I couldn't lose that $10,000. I couldn't lose that money that the $10,000 was no worth.
Yeah, that's where we go. That's where we go. I mean, my life had one day. I'll tell my story separately, but yeah, it's the same thing. Is the being in the spot where you can't lose the money. Yeah, where it's not talk. Yeah, I don't know nobody tell me whether or not it's a good theory or it's a good theory. But it's I can't lose the money, so this must work.
But the thing is,
and it work. And then you cheap tripped in it, and so I keep doing. And if I ever lose that, I lose. I don't know if I'll ever lose the ability to invest, because at this point I pay attention to value. But yeah, it's treat it. Don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. Invest every dime like you cannot afford to lose it. That's how you should do it. That's what I say. Yeah, sorry, it's not everything Warren Buffett say you need to listen to. All right.
Warren Buffett even said don't listen to him for everything.
He says don't listen to guys like me. Yeah. And then what them do? Quote him.
Yes. And one of his rules of investing is, see those rules I just gave you? Break them.
Yes.
And he's consistently broken them, by the way. Oh, money is on the table. And if I break that rule, I can make money. Then guess what I do? But he knows that codifying them in a way of rules, it has structure to it, but
you lose some magic.
Understands that the world, it's not one size fits all. There are other ways to make money.
You know what it is? It is the understanding that no matter how much you like it, no matter how well it works, no matter how much you love it, no matter how it goes, you can always be wrong. So always leave room for you to be wrong. That is why I'm good at investing, because at the end of the day, no matter how sure I am, at the end of the day, I go, yo, what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
And it come right back to the first rule. Wizard's first rule. I want to read it properly. Just because I'm a nerd, I remember it and it changed my life. Yeah. It's that people are stupid. Given proper motivation, almost anybody will believe almost anything. Because people are stupid, they will believe a lie because they want it to be true or because they're afraid it might be true. And after you do what feels like heavy research on a company, you decide that a lie doesn't always have to be a lie. A lie can be XYZ is going to make heavy profit. A lie, all right, this one touch some toes. I don't mean in a bad way, but a lie can be, I might edit this, Martin. A lie can be that Fontana is going to deliver profits to a level that will justify almost a doubling of its share price off the back of one store in the middle of Kingston's most populated area with people and with other stores. Walking distance away from another huge similar store with a guy who is not foolish when it comes to the market and will step his game up. Not saying that it won't be great.
Yeah,
I'm saying the lie that you want to believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that one store out of a company that is a 5-store company, and everywhere else that there's a Fontana, that Fontana is the thing.
The place.
In Kingston, Fontana is cool, but it's not the place. Fontana Mandeville, what Fontana represents for Mandeville is not what Fontana represents for Kingston. Yeah, to us it's cool. There's this new place. The big F looks like a superhero. Big up Fontana. I rate them. But that store, I do not expect to cause them to double in earnings over the next 6 to 12 months. Yeah. We have to understand it's not that a company isn't good.
It's just that.
Is a company good to the tune of its share price expectation?
So does it match the value? Yo, if you think it's valued $8, like, I'm not being cheeky or anything right now. If you actually think you're paying a good price to buy a Fontana at $8, go ahead. But just know the general market sentiment around pricing and valuation does not, in my opinion, fit an $8 stock at the moment.
It dropped to $7.31 today.
Wow,
yeah. It's coming down to a good PE now. Well, not now, but in time, hopefully. What's PE at that? $7.31. Big up Mayberry. Why do people rate Chris Berry? You answer
do
first since
people
you
rate
still
Chris
work
Berry?
for him. Well, people don't. I don't think a lot of people rate Chris Berry. Yeah,
I know we rate Chris Berry.
yeah. So why do we rate Chris Berry? Let me not talk for other people. Why do you then I rate Chris Berry? With the caveat that you might be biased because you work for him.
No, the thing is funny. My interaction with Chris Berry is very low at work.
I would think.
I can't say I've spoken to the guy more than so. Probably a random conversation
In passing.
And it wasn't like he was speaking to me directly or anything else. I was in the conversation. So my interaction with him is very low. It's from and rating before I met him. I saw a lot of his moves.
That is true. We were talking about him long before you moved there. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I'm on the market, learning how to make money on the market. I think I learned at that point that I did know how to make money on the market. I've learned a good amount since. I still have more to learn. And I saw him leading a lot of where money is being made on the market. You can see MJE, you can see Mayberry in a lot of plays. So MJE, if you look at the market, you can see what they own. Then you understand where the positioning and what they want for the company and how they can say, oh, we're making money on this market. MJE listing revealed a lot of that. When they say it,
yes, when we started to see that a lot of the buys and the price of the buys meant that we would have been doing a lot of the same things that he was doing,
and we're making money doing it
at the same time.
Yeah, remember the SVL deal when it started coming out. We looked at it because we saw the financing for the one of the people that were buying out SVL Zodiac, and when we saw that, hey, Mayberry's coming into this too. Mayberry's taking a cut.
You said Zodiac and like 99% of the people listening to this lost.
Yeah.
You remember how long that Zodiac conversation went to investigation.
It wasn't.
Went to investigation. Trying to figure out who is this? What is this moving around? Right. That is.
So this guy selling to this group selling to a subgroup of himself or something like that.
2 years later, so we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So we saw that Mayberry's taking a big part.
A huge part. Like, yo, that's weird.
And as we watched it, we started having more conversation around SVL because the talk wasn't Mayberry at the time for us. It was SVL because we were talking about what's happening with
exactly.
SVL.
It was around who are these guys, and we didn't know who it was. You kept going back to a certain holding company and you couldn't find the names.
Exactly.
Funny enough, I found one name and it started to match the director's circle of I won't go too close. So then the person sits on a couple of other boards through somebody else and you're like, wait, hold on, that means that this is this. I still don't know that a lot of people know that. In my view, I think, I'm not sure. Let me cover myself. But that family, I don't think they know that family controls those two companies or so many companies in Jamaica. Yeah. They're very quiet with it.
Yeah.
Very, very quiet with it. Very subtle. You know, I met them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Face to face. Yeah. Impressive. Impressive in terms of what has been built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the podcast, I think we're talking too cryptic right now.
yeah, people hate that. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So the thing is, so we saw what was happening with SVL, and then we really saw what's happening with SVL. When it started, the company started to shake up. We see dropping in the newspaper about Mayberry hostile takeover, which was poor reporting on, as we discussed with Ryan before, poor reporting on.
Which answers the tangent that we started on about why we rate Chris Berry, but why I think a lot of people don't. But keep talking and I'll come back to it.
Man. So we saw that, and then SVL reports start coming out. So we expected that to happen. I personally didn't expect that to happen.
Oh,
I think $1 billion clear to slap the bottom line with the restructuring on the company and the rationalization.
No. By that time, we expected.
You're right.
By that time, it was known.
Oh yeah, man, it was when they were in there.
Do people know that? I need to know how to say this. Do people understand the influence that Mayberry has over Supreme Ventures? I don't know if people realize that. Some people do, but in general conversation, I don't think people realize that. And that business is such, when you understand the flow of value, it is such a funny thing.
That I was going to say a bit Ryan, those guys at Mayberry understand is business.
Yeah.
Check the boards, check the moves, and you see what happened.
Yeah.
They influence the business they are part of Because they just understand how to do business.
Because if you own something, you're going to take care of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are a great addition to almost any board because they understand how to get this company to make some money.
I can tell you that. Big up Kalila. Big up Kalila for that.
Mm-hmm.
Big up Kalila for taking that, by the way. You guys should check that out on YouTube. Kalila Enriquez. Yeah, you were at her launch yesterday, so you know when we're recording this. We're recording this the day after her launch.
It was really good.
Yeah, really good launch, and I'm really excited about Kalila doing it. We're jumping all over the place. I know people listen to this and they're annoyed. You're just talking about SVL. You're talking about money. Hey, jump back. You're supposed to tell me why you rate Chris Berry. Tell us why you rate Chris Berry, and I'm going to tell you why you rate Chris Berry.
He understands business. He understands the market. He understands how to get money to this market, and he understands how to add value to companies he's a part of.
There we go. I mean, that's straight up. I said earlier that unless you can own enough shares in a company to direct the operations or whatever to help yourself more,
put it up on the board, have some influence.
But it's a guy who has found you see where I rate with Cinco because they didn't try and push overseas. They made it in Jamaica. They remained local and made it in Jamaica. Not that Chris Berry never play overseas or whatever.
Jamaica heavy.
But what percentage of the junior market was listed by Mayberry?
No.
I think it was 60-something%,
Yeah,
like so many companies. And we act like that's normal.
Yeah. One house and
directing the market like that.
Think about Mayberry too. Mayberry just a broker, you know. Mayberry.
Investment bank.
Broker investment bank. Well, think about the bigger players in our market. The brokers are tied to a bank or a bank-like thing.
Yes. A bank-like structure. Tied to a commercial bank, definitely.
The market is killing heavy money.
Yes.
And they have a bank behind them.
Yes.
Mayberry is not supported by a bank in that way.
That's true.
So Mayberry by themselves
own.
and will make the money.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's the 80-20 rule. In the Pareto principle, in so many things, right? It's them alone. I mean, obviously it's not them alone. Everybody's doing everything, but it's them do it. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Money, we have response to our money versus the bank money.
Yep. And that's why I brought up the Kalila point, because on it, when she had asked about the lumber IPO, everybody on the board, we got the guys on the board, the guys are on. You guys should really watch that episode. It's a good episode from Kalila Taking Stock. Check it out. Just put in Taking Stock on YouTube, or Taking Stock Kalila on YouTube. Give it so much. Give her some push. Big up Kalila for what she's doing. But when they'd asked about the lumber depot IPO, and Kalila said, so what do you guys think? And both of the guys said, I'll wait on the prospectus. Safe answer, good answer. And I say, Mayberry hasn't gotten it wrong yet.
Yeah.
Because Mayberry hasn't gotten it wrong yet. That doesn't mean I'm not going to wait on the prospectus, obviously. But also, why am I going to wait on the prospectus for a company where a prospectus tells you three things? It tells you the amount of shares, the share count, what's going to happen with the shares, the share value, what value they're coming to market at, which allows you to see what they're truly valuing the company at based on the shares and the price.
Yeah.
And the financials of the company. Yeah. I already know the financials of the company.
Blue Paw is listed.
I already know the share count.
Because of the circular Blue Paw put out.
And I already have a good idea of how they're going to structure the IPO/sale.
Sale, yeah.
Yeah. And I already have an idea of the range within which you're going to sell. So I can run it at $1 or $2.
$2.15. And you can say...
And I can and in Excel, I literally just have the slot where I just change it from $1. I change it to $2. Change it to $2. So you see the different layouts. Yeah. It's the first in a long while that I'm getting to, I'd have to wait on a prospectus because I can tell what it says. Now, of course, you always wait on a prospectus because that's the contract. That's a legal document.
And it gives you can a little more insight into the business.
There's lots of little things. Yeah. So what if they put what if they put a second reserve? Because Blue Paw shareholders would get automatically lumber company shares. But suppose in the coming IPO, Blue Paw shareholders also get a reserve
pool.
Which means that if you're just a reserve, you just have a Blue Paw shareholder as of a certain date to come, which then means you just have to go and buy some Blue Paw shares.
And then you qualify for
which has its own effect on the market, as we saw with Jamty, which can cause Blue Paw to go up. So maybe people would jump and buy it then in order to get in. There's so many little things that can be there. So I'm not knocking reading the prospectus. But in a moment like that, I think I'm going to rely on my gut and say, I haven't seen Mayberry get it wrong yet.
And doubly so. If you look at MJE, so Mayberry is listing. Blue Paw, lumber. If you look at MJE, one of their portfolio companies is Blue Paw. So they're taking a bet on Blue Paw.
They own 19%. There we go.
Lumber they own now.
19 point something percent. And then it's going to IPO. Yeah, and they're probably going to put a little. Well, you see, that's the funny thing. They might not put a shareholder. So if you're thinking only from the MJE perspective, they might not put a shareholder benefit in there because I don't think they want MJE to own more than a 19 point whatever, right?
No, but not. So the thing is,
because they don't want. If they go above that, they become an associate company, and they don't want that.
What might happen is that because I think Lupo is going to issue, Lombo is going to issue more shares, so
they're going to get diluted. So they're going to have to buy right up. Everybody's going to buy up, and they're not going to fight with everybody. So there's definitely going to be a shareholder, a shareholder reserve.
They're not associates, so they're even without it, they're still fine.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to leave that just like that. I think they're going to buy right back up. You get? I forgot the dilution.
I fully believe they're going to buy right up.
Yeah, and I'm going to mess up all my calculations for the future. Yeah. Just buy right back up to the 19.9. And people ask, "I will rate Chris Berry?"
Yeah, he knows how to make money. He knows how to find values in transactions or anything, deals.
Create, and extract value. That's not a normal thing. And do it in a way where him share with people. People don't give him credit for that.
Oh, yeah.
I've never met the man either. So I rate him. I mean, a lot of the reasons that I mentioned, but you hear us talking, so you get it. And I've never met the man either, but the man has put money in the palm of my hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How many people I can say I don't know, but they put money in the palm of my hand?
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've never found them to be. I found that deals like this, they're transparent about. So, you see,
they're open. I was people can find my tweets. I was gushing about how good it's still the best.
Yeah,
it's still the best prospectus that I have ever looked at. I would say maybe second to Lab own, but Lab I kind of biased because of this as involved with that. And then also I would have read that prospectus so many times or over the versions that it's not for me. But MJE's prospectus to this day is still the best prospectus I ever looked at. It like I think about it and I think I was like it's beautiful. Like they tell you exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Without really saying it, but them say it clearly right there. They've said almost to the point where you the only reason you will not believe that this is what they're saying is if you're afraid it's true or you want it to be true or don't want it to be true. So oh my God.
Screw yourself. And look at leading up to it. When they gave us, they were, remember the uncertainty we faced with other people when they were talking about, when they first came and said, we're restructuring MJE.
Yeah.
We'll change the company change Mayberry West Indies to Mayberry Jamaican Equities.
Equities, yes.
And
And move the assets over, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Ignored. Market ignored.
Market ignored. And we were foolish trying to explain to people, hey, yo, guess what?
This is the kind of big deal.
Giving some money.
Yeah, they're giving us stuff. Yeah.
There's no point giving a private company, And
I don't know what to say.
We talk and then we buy.
Yeah, I thought I would just stop talking. I just start by. Yo, people, you want a simple explanation? In case you ultra lost, I'll catch you up to speed. What's happening right now with the Blue Power and the lumber company has happened before.
Yeah.
In almost this exact way. In almost, there are differences, but almost the same exact way. To the point when we saw the first announcement about this, we immediately assumed that it was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So it must be the same thing because
money the same way too.
Exactly, but it's not done yet.
Anything
is possible. Yeah,
money was not done.
Exactly, you never know. And his eyes bumps on the road. Speed bumps are so nice in the market because opportunities for profit. Oh my God! And that's why we rate Chris Berry. I guess if you get anything out of that, people, that's why we rate Chris Berry. There was a last part of that question. What was it? For one reason was that it was one of my first experiences also reading a Jamaican context about like big business moves. I remember earlier when the access thing happened, where that's part of why, in my personal opinion, why I hope people, especially longer people in the market, or I would say dunce people in the market, don't know, not the people in the market longer dunce, I just mean the people have been there a longer time, might not like him because of the access thing. I remember it was always said that, I try to take the company from the founder, and let me be clear and say that I don't know that they weren't. Meaning, I believe it was public. Sorry if I got it wrong, but I believe it was public that they wanted to install a new CEO. The current CEO was a CEO back then, Marcus James, who was also founder. He started the company, And people think, that's wrong, that's bad, until you understand business. Mayberry was doing it for a company that they own. They were the majority owner of.
Even if we own 10%, and I feel like something going wrong.
Yes. A whole CEO lose them job to the 10 and the 5% owner.
Like, imagine that.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he was right or wrong. Sorry to cut you, but I'm not saying right or wrong. And the fights go how fights go, and the winners win because they win, right? But the core of it to hear that a businessman and investor decides, say, I'm changing leadership. And everybody I asked about it told me, yo, I'm going to try to take the man company. And look on it is years later, I even talked to some of those people and remind them about it. And them said the same thing. I'm going to try to take the man company. And I say, you realize that they owned most of that, they own more of that company than him. So technically, I would say, like in that shoes, I would say, nobody's trying to take nobody company. I was trying to change my company. I was trying to change my company. Yeah. But I also understand a founder who cares about him thing and doing him thing.
So
yeah.
There's passion behind it.
But I love that. The fight. In the fight, so much came out. And look how it ended, right? Look how much people liked it. In the end, somebody win, somebody lose. Shares got sold. Proven got them and Proven benefits. And now, 10 years later, here we are. Everybody get a little piece because Proven sell it off or something else.
So a piece, right? Yeah. But if you look at it this way, where I look at it too, as I said, businessman, investor, fighting for, you own any part of that company, then
you want the best.
You want certain things to happen, and the way you see this happening is what you think is best.
Exactly.
And you want to implement. I always say it. One of my biggest issues with the market, it's not an actual issue with the market, but whenever like a new company comes out, me and Randy start talking about what the company can do to be better.
Yeah.
So they get the new money, what them can do with it.
Exactly, yeah.
We can sit in the back and complain that the company needs to do this, and we see 500 ways for this company to be super profitable. If the owner does agree with us, then guess what? We don't get that money.
Exactly.
And we just sit down, hands crossed, waiting for this man to do this.
Yeah, man.
This darn thing that we wished we were talking about would only make sense for this company.
Yeah, but
if you not see it, they must see it.
Exactly.
If I own a company, I want to see my best vision of the company realized.
Exactly. Is 65% I did want my brethren Michael raise the dividend by, he never listened. Got 29. Michael, you know, listen to me, but just so him own a whole lot more, right? So I just have to keep myself quiet and hug up the 29% that he decided, 29% rise that he decided on, right?
Yeah.
That's just how it go. Might is right. If you want to beat somebody, get more shares than them. Have your say. And then the rules, at the end of the day, the rules help everybody because he can't help himself. Whatever the rules go for him, it go for every single person in the market.
And so we're talking about the fact that if you're invested in a company, then you're really running with the rich man that own it or so. Just say,
exactly.
Just say it like that.
That's exactly.
In this case, Chris Berry
would
have, Mayberry would have been the rich man that runs it. And they think, if anything, more than, the way I see it, more than the other parties, Mayberry understood that it's not just a majority owner thing. Because Mayberry in the equity game heavy. So they fully understand that if we take this with, if I take this company and do whatever, this thing, then I'm bringing other people along with me. I would think they know it more than the founder. In my opinion, I see it a lot of times on the market where the founder doesn't really seem to understand. Say, I know you're a company alone, brother. We're here with you.
It's always a hard fight to have people understand that. What it truly means to have given up a percentage of ownership and subject yourself publicly. And there's benefit to it. It's just so it goes. It's not, and nobody's being unfair to anybody. Because you got a lot of benefit for it. You ask for a lot of money. And here it come. Here it came. Here we gave it to you. Yeah.
Cool.
And we do things like we accept. Like I always say, people ask me, I grow like, yo, it's a bad thing if I'm looking at financials and I realize that this company have a management service line and the company that is giving the management service is owned by the founder of the company.
Your problem? Yes. Worry is an issue.
If you have a problem with it, raise an issue. But the truth is, your whole profits. Yeah, I want to keep the founder happy.
Yeah.
I want to keep the founder happy.
Really
yeah. And if they brought it to the point where it was so good that I spent my hard-earned money on it. If I don't have an issue with the numbers and it's working, fine. If I have an issue with the numbers, talk. That happened with Pulse.
Yeah.
That happened with Pulse and
the management line.
And the chairman dropped his management line. And what did he do? Increase his dividend.
I get more.
And guess what happened when he increased the dividend? Everybody get more.
Some more. Yeah.
Wow. And that's before they make this 100% profit.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. This fake profit.
Oh gosh.
Because it's not real profit because the asset that they had went up. Everybody knows that's not real. Yeah. They're making money from real estate. Anyway, I know we're talking forever. Sir Bam, give us a time check.
You are at an hour and 42.
It feels like we've been talking for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Holy shite. All right. We've been talking forever, I feel like, but I think you get a lot of good value out of this. I hope people liked it. There'll be stuff like this more. Let us know if you like. We don't usually do episodes like this. I don't know if you guys might ever hear this. If you're hearing this, I hope you like it. I like this. I feel like it's a good flow.
Good talk.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
together talk some more.
Yeah.
You guys have been asking.
Hear the man under pressure, man. Well, yeah, I hope you guys like it. I always try to wrap it up with something nice. I don't know when we'll drop this. I won't do. You know what I won't do, since we don't know when we'll drop this? I won't do what you like in the market right now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
what I'll do instead is this. If you had to pick something to hold for the next... We've done something like this before. 2 years. Because I'm sure we're going to drop this at least over the next couple of months. I know. Yeah. Stretches. It's so easy, though.
So this is actually running pressure in me.
Yeah. No, but it's so easy. So, you know what? Let me make it hard for you. You have to make more than 50% over the next 2 years. Each year.
You know, actually, I have to look at I have to run through all the stocks and everything. I have to look.
I'll go first. So that will screw you up.
Boy.
If I had to make 50% over the next 2 years, each year, so every year I have to go 50% after fees.
Yeah.
We're recording this the end of October 2019. I would buy Select F at $1.10. Yeah, I'm cheating. Yeah. Because that's almost inevitable. That's a gamble, actually. No, that's not a gamble. Over the next 2 years? Yeah, no, that's not a gamble. That's not a gamble.
So that diversification don't hold it back.
It will, but Select F is going to start more and more moving on sentiment. That is my gamble. It's going to start more and more moving on sentiment.
The NAV. Let's talk about this. The NAV-based stocks, listed equity funds versus actual ETFs. The NAV is this, ETF price is this.
Yes.
The
underlying asset is X. Yeah.
And liquid equity fund, boy, I feel this way. So guess what? I got trade up more than it or below or above. So there's more room there is sentiment in the actual pricing of it.
Our listed equity fund.
Listed equity fund.
Yeah, but then nobody not going to that. We're nowhere near the level of maturity for that yet. If people still afraid of shorting in Jamaica, there's nowhere near the maturity of that. Because you have somebody have to actively do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be an issue.
A more mature market is pricing all information.
Yes, price more and more information in.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So future information is a heavy part of things, which is like US. So I see it all the time. A company come and because of people expecting a certain profit, a certain amount of profits coming from them, like that, the fake meat company.
Beyond Meat.
Meat.
Yeah. The sentiment through the
because people say, hey, so much things are happening for this company and they're actually making deals. They don't come on the books yet. And we think there's more than this to come on the books.
Yep. And we understand that at some point in the far future, we might have to cut our meat consumption, and a company that can make us eat something thinking that is meat and it's not meat is a natural fit. So if you're thinking long term, that and then there's a whole bit of excitement, there's media noise around it. There's people jumping in because there's media noise around it and we want to grab a rise. Yeah. And everybody eats.
Micro markets.
Yep.
Vegetarian market.
Yep. And then on the flip side, you have some man who look at it and go, all right, guys, that's great. That's running on hype, and the hype won't last.
Yeah.
So guess what? That's why you need to have shorting, because those guys go, I'm going to short this wonderful thing. Yeah.
If I'm right, I'm good. If you're
the people who shorted WeWork are eating. No, but people who WeWork short it in a off market kind of way. If you think about it. It's such a funny thing. If I were to tweet that I consider a lot of what happened with WeWork to be off market shorting, it'd be weird because the founder SoftBank then buy it back for $8 billion. But remember, there's a point where it's shares. Remember, a lot of these shares they trade on a secondary and let's say non-public market before time. People borrow against it as assets. Man, buy out the whole thing essentially for $8 billion and a song for something that was going to list for $47 billion 2 months ago. Right? That is theirs, and then everybody's like, "Oh, it's so crazy." Let me tell you something I learned about foreign. If you see it on the news, rule of thumb: if you see it on the news, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the real things that are bad, you don't see it on the news. So you tweet that?
WeWork, and I said, I feel, tongue in cheek, I feel like somebody's benefiting here.
Oh, wow! Something was when it was being valued at $47 billion supposedly a couple months ago.
Yeah,
somebody was benefiting
there,
and somebody else benefit right now. Where them buy it out for $8 billion, and they're going to get it back.
Thinking, we can't do this work this company. No.
Yeah,
we go get this money.
Yeah, there was a lot of rubbish and power and rubbish in there, But it wasn't
But
all power.
exactly.
Yeah, WeWork does exist. It's a company. It does have revenue. Yeah.
Ain't that space to grow.
And it has lots of space to grow. And a lot of the bad part has been kicked out. Yeah. And a lot of companies can do wonderful things when the bad part has been kicked out.
Selling off some of the smaller companies that own our pieces.
Yeah. That's how great things are made now. They're whole
paid for this thing outright and we was sell off this and make some more money still.
Boom. There's all kind of things that can happen. I love that. So I'd buy Select if I had to buy over the next 2 years. 50% 2 years and 50% the next 2 years. So it'd be Select F and I feel cheap saying NCB, and NCB might not be NCB. You've got a 50-50 in 2 years. Big for NCB, you know.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. You're requiring news for NCB to jump. I don't know what the Guardian money gonna hit. I can see NCB jumping once in the 50 year because the Guardian money hit. You know, our market say them stubborn. It hit again for a second quarter. Worse if if they take a hit to profits, which they might because they have to rationalize some operations, right? That could happen. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
And seeing them doing things like selling off the insurance arm, NCB insurance here, even though that might have been linked to licensing or whatever. Seeing them doing things like selling that off. Oftentimes tell me that that's done in a quarter in order to cushion an expense somewhere else. So it's a big influx of a straight up gain from to cover a hit that you might take for rationalizing something else somewhere else, and they have to rationalize an entire region now, right? It's not a joke thing. As much as that's how we rate Patrick Hilton, I rate Patrick Hilton. He's no longer NCB CEO, yeah? He's now NCB Global Financial CEO, yeah.
Just definitely has input. But
yeah, big up. Him can't even hear me know him on the jet.
Yeah. It's a very different type of, not very different, it's a different type of input.
So I don't know if I'd got NCB for the 2. Not that I don't think they can. Because what could happen is that them get big news and then them give me another 100% in the second year, right? And I still win, right? Because I want NCB. If I had to go 50 for 2 years, let me go something junior market. Junior market, 50, 2 years. AMG paper and packaging. That's a gamble, you know.
Yeah.
A heavy gamble because them man still don't seem to know that plastic ban is on.
Yeah.
I don't hear them say nothing about paper straw. But the man just come and launch a good paper straw, launch a wax wrap paper straw thing, make it official. You're a listed company. If you don't have the money for it, drop a bond. People pay you the money for the bond. Start the wax wrap paper straw. Your paper straws, I love the environment. I love the fact that, you know, it's been a long time. I don't want to sound premature. When last you see plastic bags as garbage on the road?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while, you know. I'm not saying that thing's fixed. I'm not saying at all that thing's fixed. But just in terms of day to day.
It's a commodity. It's the whole thing to get a plastic.
Yeah, man. That's gold right now.
I know a lady that's collecting them.
I know I go a shopping country and them give me a plastic bag. I look on them and them say, oh, nobody tell nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it low.
A cook shop that so give a plastic bag or anything there. And a lady takes them from me every day.
Every single day.
Storing that.
Let me tell you something. As good as you might think, I don't think we're there yet, but I think there's some reduction. I mean, it must be just common sense, right? Because it means that if there's less plastic things, that there's more paper things going on there. Not that things aren't being dumped still, but paper disintegrates a lot quicker, obviously. But wait till everybody plastic bag stash under them sink done. We're almost 1 year into the ban now. Yeah. Everybody running, the people who still have it running low, you know, the plastic bag under the sink running low.
Plastic bag, they use it until they put garbage in it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I use it the most for.
That's what I use it for too.
Yeah, garbage.
So
yeah.
I stock off,
but that's crappy. Imagine that, because that means that we always threw it away. We just threw other things away and thought we were doing good.
And we're going to reach a point where we don't have it anymore.
Yo, I tell you this, I'm foreign and I go into a store and I do something and give a plastic bag and it felt weird. As they give me the thing and I'm taking it in my hand to walk up because I'm so used to walking out of places in Jamaica with it in my hand, right? And then give me a bag and I was like, oh yeah, you guys sell a plastic, you're so backward. Oh no.
All right, so my pick.
No, but a few people want to cheat and say I never say because I still don't pick something else. I want to pick something from the junior market. I should probably look at the junior market while I say that. But something from the junior market that I think will grow 50% in year 1 at a minimum and 50% in year 2 at a minimum.
50% per year?
Cheat.
So you're saying?
Yeah, or you can go cumulative if you want.
No, I thought we were fully going 50% over
if you want to over 2 years, all right, the minimum is that in year 1 it have to grow at least 50%.
Year 1,
and then in year 2 it has to give me at least 50 more percent. But if you want to go harder, you can go say you don't give me that in year 1, but in year 2 make it up.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, so if you start with $100 for the people who don't want to do the math, just like me, I make Excel do it.
I wasn't choosing a thing there. I joined my company, but I want to be lazy. Signals.
No, but you have to pick two. You get the Cygnus.
Yeah.
That's cheating, dog.
I thought about it so much now.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was all right because I did say selective. All right. So Cygnus 50%. Yeah, because Cygnus are undervalued already. Unless the Excel says otherwise, but my Excel says Cygnus are undervalued.
Hey, I think them one said the same thing, you know.
I don't know. The share price not showing me that though. All right, so it mean that if you had $100 this year, next year you need to have $150, and the year after that you need to have $225. Like that, guys. That's how you get more than 200% in a year, even though you only got 50-50. Now think about if you can do 50% in 2 quarters in 1 year, right? And they'll tell you that you can't make money. Anyway, 150 in year 1, 225 in year 2. That's how much your money would be at. So it'd be about 100 and 125% overall.
I was
You're still sticking with Cygnus?
No, I get tired of that at a point.
All right.
50% over 2 years for Cygnus. That's not hard.
Over 2 years?
Over 2 years. That's what I thought we were going with.
No, but it don't matter if you want to do it that way.
Oh, yeah, sure.
50%. Oh, no. It has to be more than 50%. No. That's why I said I'm making it harder.
Even I can't see them going more than 50% over 2 years, but I can't see 50% year 150. I can, but it'll be harder for them than just so. Because regular business for them can give them a 50% in 2 years' time easy. I was also going to say Epley because of the money that's coming in from the Caribbean Valley Property Fund.
So you think, hold on. Epley's, first he says Cygnus, right? As of today, Cygnus is at $21.32. It's at $21.32. So that means that you think that in 2 years you can see Cygnus at $47.97.
Again, I said Cygnus was before when I thought it was 50% in 2 years, over 2 years.
I can see Cygnus at $47.97 though, yeah. But they need something magical to happen.
They need some deployment. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at the
Cygnus had a clause in their prospectus that said that in year 5 they start doing stock buybacks.
Oh yeah.
I hope people remember that in a couple of years. Yeah, almost mandatory. Like they say that they're going to offer
to
start in year 5.
Start in year 5. Yeah. Look at thing there. I was also going to say Epley because Caribbean Property Value Fund, but you
think Epley can do it?
Depends what they do with the property fund, because they want a thing there. Business been up for them, and then that management fee line is going to increase because of the billions they took in for the property fund.
Because it's linked to assets.
Assets, yeah. So anything that touch them is.
Yeah, they get a percentage of. Yeah. Remember years ago, I don't know if you're in the group at the time, I told people that I was buying Epley because I said it's a rich boys club and it's an opportunity for you to own shares in a rich boys club. And this was when the Epley share price was
way high.
Stupid. It was like 3,000 or something like that. Yeah. But that's what they do. Right? Those guys decided that if this is the value, this is the value. There's no reason for us to drop the value, and I respect that sort of thing. Yeah. So you say Cygnus. I'm still pinning it on you. You say Epley. Are you sticking with Epley? Epley right now is $14.94.
I can actually see it.
$14.94?
2 years time.
$14.94 in 2 years time is $33.
All right, let's read it back. Let's read it back a bit. I don't know. It feels like a lot. It actually feels like a lot. It's funny.
It's 2 years.
We're making those gains
8 quarters
in a year, and I feel like this is hard. But just look at it. Feels hard just looking at a company and saying 2 years time we're going to do that.
It's easy. Think about it. General accident. Ooh, that's my junior. That's my junior marketplace. That's my junior marketplace. General accident, definitely.
Yeah, what's your junior marketplace?
General accident is now at $8.03. So you guys can hold this to me and tell me if in 2019, 2020, 2021, if general accident is $18.06 or more, then it looks like I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
GNAC. That's my 2. Give me one more than let me wrap it because I know the people tired of us now.
All right.
Yeah, I know it's pressure and it's hard, you're fret. Try. Oh, you could go easy. QWI. There's no way.
I want to say John T, but I want to say QWI too.
Well, that's 2 because I said 2. It's not really easy because you're saying right now at the end of a flattening when people think the market is down and QWI is in the midst of a IPO crisis because they're what QWI end today at QWI as of today is
What you say now?
$1 if I want.
What can I have? When you done?
So QWI today is 124 and I think the NAV today is 134 or 135. Yeah, and it's 135
And
against the
just other day,
increased share base.
Exactly. And
That
this other
means-
day it was 1.2 something.
Yeah.
Against the increased share base. They just made some money.
Yeah, they just made some significant money. Those guys seem to know what they're talking about. Yeah. I hope you guys keep
I was
selling.
actually avoiding QWI, JMB, and all those things.
No, take it easy. Compete with that.
It SSF. So yeah, QWI is fine.
Yeah, that's true. You can grab QWI. And Scotia.
Scotia.
That's a nice one to throw there.
I think
2-year
JMB
pick
actually pull through on a lot of what they're doing, what they want to do with
by default. By default.
and the strategy core play right now.
You can't even say proven. I don't know if I'd go so brave, but you can't even say proven. Because, everybody hypes up the fact that JMB is going to own 22% of Sagicor Financial. Said it on Khalila's program. I'll say it here so too. Proven is going to own 5% of Sagicor Financial Corporation.
Yeah. And that's big money to them.
Yeah.
Is that little?
When I say little in air quotes, Proven is
Yes,
going to own
I'm
5% of Sagicor
I'm dragging some of
Financial.
that.
Yeah, man. I hope them put somebody on the board too.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, man. 3 away on the board. So 2 people from JMB, 1 person from Proven. Yeah, anything we say, go.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Because Proven also own 22%. This is by virtue of owning 22% of JMB.
Yeah.
So, anything we say, go. And plus, I'm on your board. Your board too. So we agree at our meeting what we're doing, and we'll fly go Canada and tell them what we're doing in the Caribbean region where we run things.
I guess what? We know the Caribbean more than you can.
Matter of fact, we might not even fly go Canada. I don't know what, but yeah, big up them too. And I like that. So officially your picks are, if you're doing the 2-year challenge, since we don't want to drop in this,
Yeah, Signals, Epic, QWI. Sure.
hold it that. All right, the people that are hold it. And what did I say? I said
SSF.
Select F. And and what did I? And QWI.
Yeah.
I said QWI. I regret saying QWI, and I wasn't QWI. AMG maybe.
AMG said MG.
General accident is
General
what I said.
accident, yeah.
General accident. GNAC. Yeah, is what it is. I can't throw another one. I don't think Jam T gonna stay. I think some interesting things going
Yeah, I
happen.
think it's interesting things. 'Cause
Yeah.
we spoke about it last podcast with on JMB. We spoke about how they're housing the QWI money. QWI money again.
Yeah.
And the supermarket coming back on supermarket that they're doing expansion
that them
for.
bring back on that.
Bring
very,
back-
very
bring
interesting
back
seeing what's going to
yeah.
happen with that.
So,
Very, very interesting
should be
seeing what's going to happen to
interesting,
that. Yeah. You know what I'm going to shot in the dark with? 138 student living.
you think they're
In 2 years, they're going to sort out. 2 years, over 2 years, yeah, man, that's sort out long time. And right now, as of today, they're at $2.90. So I think that's enough meandering. It's a wild conversation, and we wrap it up with a whole heap of value. I hope people like that.
Definitely. They try to answer the tweets asking for topics that you guys want to hear us talk on.
Yeah, we'll talk about it over.
We brought some of them, so over the time we'll be addressing them. So if you want to add to that tweet, add responses over time, go on.
Yeah, man. Tell us what you want to hear. We always want to hear. We're always interested in the market.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
yeah.
I want to hear your views and so we can add to ours and inform you on our views and what we get out of what you guys are doing.
There we go. Let me say a rising tide lifts all boats. Oh, no one said rising tide. Big up, guys. This is earnings season. I'm at RTO, Randy Rowe.
And I'm H. Danai Hall.
Thank you. This has been earnings season. See you guys.
Big up.